Previously, you had taken the ship around to a shorter access point and kind of watch your way through a bit of an easier terrain rather than heading directly through the swamps through a marsh. This marsh proved, in fact, to be one marsh, and it was alive and displeased with you. Through some creative use of banishment, the entire terrain, biome creature, blinked in and out of existence several times before you finally managed to escape its grasp. Having trudged your way, having trudged your way through the muck of the swamp, the humid air, and the light drizzle from the overcast clouds above you, before you, you see a gatehouse, largely in ruins, straddling a ancient-looking stone causeway, with the walking surface of the causeway looking to be about 15 feet above the muck of the swamp. The west tower looks to have fallen completely into the swamp and is just rubble. And huge chunks of the stone causeway above it have also been damaged and pulled down part into the swamp. The eastern tower is in better shape, but it does look to be cracked, vines growing on it.
Disgusting.
Yep. From a distance, just for reference, here is the gatehouse that you're kind of seeing from a distance. The ground floor, at least, where all the muck is.
How deep is this mud? And does weight play a factor in it?
The depth varies.
Because Beta is very little. However, she weighs a whole lot.
The deepest parts are deeper than 10 feet, but it's a gradual undulation of how mucky it is, so you're kind of able to navigate around the deeper parts. But it is essentially difficult terrain for everybody, with the occasional watery pools and the trees kind of sticking out with the kind of umbrella-like roots. Getting a vehicle through here would be virtually impossible.
You realize this mud is going to get everywhere. I'll be cleaning my gears for weeks to get all the mud out of them.
Okay, so the gatehouse. What's the roof look like from the ground?
You cannot see the roofs from the ground. Sorry, I said western before, but that's because I was looking at this map. This map, the left side is south. So the southern tower has basically collapsed. You can see that there's just this big rubbly pile, kind of vaguely tower-shaped, remaining. Mm-hmm. The eastern tower on the other side still stands tall.
I was curious,
going
mostly
3 floors up,
whether we had a flat top or a conical roof.
You can't see the roof from here, so either it is a flat top or it is a conical roof that has collapsed.
Okay. That's reasonable.
You can see the top, where the crenellations and stuff are. You just can't see the roof itself because you're below it, looking up.
And I assume it has windows. Are they like arrow slits too small to fit a person through?
Yes, it is arrow slits too small to fit a person through.
Reasonable. Okay. Any large gaps that might fit a person along the outer walls? Like on the one that's more together?
Yeah, the one that's more together is damaged and there are large openings.
Okay. Well, do we want to try and come in on the ground floor? Do we want to look for an opening that's a little higher up and maybe grappling hook our way in? I mean, I don't have an actual grappling hook, so we might have to improvise something. But
Well, you can fly. You can fly up with a rope.
yeah, I could.
I mean, okay.
Um, well, I'll tell you what. Are there any big openings higher than the ground floor that look promising for an entry point?
Yeah, when you circle around to the north, you can see that the north face of the northern tower has a large opening. It looks to be on the second floor, one floor above the bridge level.
Okay, I want to raise up a little bit, um, just so I can get some eyes in there. And while I do that, I'd like to go ahead and just uh, tie my crowbar to some rope, um, and I'll if I see a good spot, I'll just toss that in there so people have something to climb up.
Okay. So go ahead and make a perception check as you kind of look in through that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see a damaged stairwell leading up and down, and it appears to be a mostly empty circular stone room, like each floor is its own room. You do
Okay.
not see any movement inside.
All right. In that case, I will gingerly land in there and start giving people a hand up if they climb the rope.
Okay. It is a fairly easy climb, the damaged surface proving to be easy footholds. So just about everyone could easily climb into this room. And for like the first time since you entered that marsh, you are standing on dry ground and not being rained on.
This is pretty nice. It's true luxury in here.
Yeah, especially since according to my notes, it is about the end of the day.
Mm. Okay, gentlemen, do we want to try and hunker down in here?
That sounds like a plan.
Okay. Um,
Beta
what's
don't feel revulsion, but there's mud in all of her lower parts.
it's
She is
just
very not happy.
seeping out with every whir and
Beta
Yeah,
weighs
I
like 15
know.
pounds extra just from all the mud that got sucked in.
ooh.
Uh,
Is there so there's a stairwell going up and a stairwell going down. Is the
Yes.
stairwell going up, is there space underneath of the stairwell? Somewhere where I could just like go and be where I am not plainly visible and that would be like a good spot to lay down.
It's not a good spot to lay down because under the stairs are stacked, so that the stairs going
Ah,
down are under the
understood.
stairs going up.
Understood. Okay.
However, there is a like central chimney that goes up the middle of the tower,
Hmm.
and so if you were to be in like the lower left portion, opposite, like going so that the stairs would let out next to the chimney, and if you're just opposite to that, then you would at least not be immediately visible coming from down the stairs.
That makes perfect sense, and that's where I would like to be.
Okay. So you guys taking your long rest here?
yes, that sounds like a plan.
I will begin to hunker down.
Okay. So you all go to sleep. The night is uneventful.
Neat.
Morning comes.
Nobody said a watch, and I didn't want to be the one to say it. I wanted to just see if somebody else would bring it up.
The night is uneventful because you didn't see any of the crazy shit that happened. You slept through it all.
So yeah, it is already a muggy day. You can kind of see like this haze outside the large opening in the wall. It looks like more foggy than drizzly today.
Ew, he's vaping out there again.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to head up? Do we want to head down? Decisions.
Well, what exactly is the move here? Do we keep following the coast? Do we go inland?
Well, I'd like to look around in this tower while we're here, before we move on. But yeah, we're moving up towards the wasting way. What is it called?
This is the wasting way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna move along. I think to the west this way. There should be, I think, a series of these maybe along this route. So we should just check this one real quick and then be on our way if we can.
Okay, so which way are you going? There are stairs up, stairs down, and that big opening out into the swamp.
Let's see. One is down, two is up. Okay, I would just like to peer down the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, it look to be spiraling stone stairs along the outside of the round tower, heading down into what you can see to be another stone floor.
Okay. Empty room, nothing noteworthy.
You were just looking down the stairs. That's what you see from the stairs. You actually going down there.
I'll take a couple steps down and just kind of, just cautiously descend the stairs as I go and just look across the room as I'm going down.
Okay.
I will follow.
Yeah, so you go down. This room looks to be covered in hay on the floor, though from the color of and smell of it, it has been here for quite a while. That smell of rotting hay is in the air. To the south, you can see 3 arrow slits set into the wall. And to the east, a damaged, broken open doorway, I should say. The door, you can see, is broken into 3 pieces and is scattered nearby inside the room.
Okay, something busted its way in at some point. Okay. I suppose I'll make my way up and we'll check out the next floor up.
Okay. So you head up the stairs to the room you slept in, heading up the next stairs. Coming to an open roofed round room. You can see that the chimney kind of would have gone up a little bit. The top of it kind of broken off and some rough stone that worked there. Square holes in the side of the chimney kind of indicate where the rafters for a conical roof would have gone.
Okay.
Though the roof is absent, and this room is exposed to the sky. Arrow slits are set regularly around the outside of the room.
Okay.
The floor of the room in this one is a little slimy, like it's just had like lichen and moss and stuff just growing on it, and exposed stonework in a swamp.
Yeah. No major surprises there. Okay. I think we should carry on, gentlemen. There's not much here to be seen. I don't know if anyone wants to search the rubble of that other tower, but I don't.
Treasure is not a necessity. I do not wish to search the tower. I wish to get out of this god-forsaken swamp.
Well, that's an agreeable goal. Uh, Unfortunately, to get out, first we have to venture deeper into this godforsaken swamp. So I suppose let's go.
If we must.
Alright, so how are you getting out?
Well,
I
mean,
guess the same way we got in.
yeah, they got to take the stairs. I guess I can just hop on down and meet them at the bottom.
You can fly. How deep is the mud outside the tower?
So I think there's some... So you guys were looking at originally that ground floor, which goes down to the swamp. The level above that is the bridge level, because that's the actual causeway. The causeway running east to west. It's like a raised highway.
Okay.
And that's the level that had the broken door when you guys were inside the tower. Above that is the second floor, and that's where you slept. And then the third floor is the one that would have been under the roof, had there been a roof.
I see. So that doorway is not the exit. That doorway is across the arch.
Right. I mean, you would have
Goes to the other side.
Yeah, you would have been very quickly able to figure that out.
So could we go to the other side and then go down and go out the
we'll find out.
Pass over.
We should glance over there real quick anyway. If that part's intact, it could be worth looking.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't know it was midnight.
It's midnight somewhere.
It's not.
All right.
Gilbert!
I'm just on break. I'm not here to save anybody's life.
No.
Oh, well,
we're not
still
dying
in the
yet.
swamp that you put us in.
Just wait till we walk through this doorway, then we might be dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be there to kill myself with more levels of exhaustion.
Be alright. Okay.
Just hang on. Need to adjust the map.
Understood.
Because I made a poor decision when I was picking this map. It's all round.
Yeah, that is inconvenient.
Alright, so yeah. So this is that floor with the broken door.
Alright.
Yeah, so you guys can walk out onto that southern balcony, and you can see to the east the causeway going off into the distance in a relatively straight line.
More swamp to either side.
Swamp to the north, swamp to the south, swamp to the east, swamp to the west. You're in the middle. It goes off, a couple thousand feet before you lose sight of the remainder of the bridge in the fog and haze of the swamp. Set into between the two towers on this bridge level is like an actual gate, I shouldn't say closed, a gatehouse. I don't know why I blacked that out, because there is no door there. And you can kind of see through that it looks to go into like a small little kill area between, like where those 3 arrow slits we're looking into,
Mhm.
and then another open gateway on the other side, with the causeway continuing off to the west as well.
It's a very strange idea to have this gatehouse. But so the if the other side's also open, I suppose let's give the other side a cursory glance just to make sure we won't get shot. And then I know we could walk around, but let's just go through the middle.
Yeah, what's strange about the gatehouse?
What's everyone's passive perception?
21.
12.
Bad.
12.
Okay. So, yeah, especially what is it? Caius is AGR's character's name.
Oh, Guy.
Guy. So yeah, I mean, Guy, you would kind of notice that in like the muck and the mud that's kind of built up on the causeway, you can tell that it looks like stuff has been moving along the causeway. Like there are footprints and track marks, though they're weird and very serpentine. On the bridge itself, like it looks like stuff passes through this area, this gatehouse and such.
Okay. It's been raining, so it's probably relatively fresh. I mean, all things considered.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let the party know that there's been stuff passing through here. I don't know how long it would have survived in the rain. Some of this might be partly covered, but I will mention it. Let's take a peek over here carefully. Anybody quieter than anybody else?
Not if we're not trying to be.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'm gonna go over to that left side, opposite the tower, and just see if there's enough of anything there to get in.
Okay, and you're trying to be stealthy?
If they're not being stealthy out here, there's no point. I'm just gonna go up there.
Okay. Yeah, you look in. This door is also completely missing. You don't even see it inside. And you look at the inside of this room, and this room is completely wrecked. Like the stone floor above has like cracked and fallen in several places on the south side. The entire southern wall is just open and exposed. The arrow slits are still there. You can still see into the between like the actual kill zone.
Mm-hmm.
The stairs going up to the third floor are blocked by rubble.
Okay. It looks though like there's not anything in there that is going to murder us from that side. So okay. Yeah, let's I think we'll stick to the causeway. Let's just go through. Should be fine. Place is a dump anyway. The obvious kill trap should be totally safe. I'm gonna just walk right through the gate across the other side.
Okay, you walk through the gate and through the other gate onto the other side, heading west. Nothing happens to you.
Okay. It's just a very weirdly placed. I mean, there's no long chain of walls, so this is really just meant to stop travelers on carts. It's not, it's like one of them gated neighborhoods.
It's like a toll booth.
Yeah. If you really want to go around it, it's not going to stop you, but it will stop you from bringing contraband around, I guess.
Well, you could bring a cart through it. It's 20 feet wide.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to stop you from doing it, like,
While there's
over the
people
road.
watching.
It's meant to be an impediment to people trying to travel who have to use the road. It's easy to avoid if you're not
I see
someone
what
who
you mean.
needs the road.
Yeah, I mean, you could run past it, but you couldn't, it would be inconvenient to move an army around it because of how difficult the terrain is for, wagons and horses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Plus, the towers would have given a nice command of the surrounding landscape.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move along then, and
Yeah, let's move along.
keep heading west.
Move along.
Alright, you guys start walking to the west, following the silty covered, stone bridge causeway. It is surprisingly, or not, easier to walk along the stone elevated causeway through the swamp than it would be to trudge through the swamp. You're able to make good time.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
We're off to see the wizard.
Couple hours of walking along this, hot, muggy day. You can start to see in the distance what looks to be another gatehouse. And it looks like it's going to just take you... It looks like it's about a half day between gatehouses.
Okay.
What's this one in front of?
Huh?
Is this one in front of anything, or is it just out in the middle of nowhere?
No, it's a way station.
On the path.
Oh, it's a way station. Okay.
Yeah, think
there's
it's
a series of toll booths.
Essentially, yes. There is... Basically, it's a long causeway with periodic gatehouses with towers where, in theory, you would station troops or whatnot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Though this, especially based on the disrepair of the stonework, is not
This
currently being used.
This is basically meant to be the only good means of moving goods across this swamp, because obviously you're not taking any vehicles through that. It makes sense. What's the condition of it look like from here?
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, as you're getting closer, you guys can see that on this one, the northern tower looks to be a little worse off than the southern one. But you also realize as you kind of get closer to it that there's a successive series of arches, 3 arches worth of the causeway that are just collapsed in front of this. And it looks like that if you wanted to try to get to the gatehouse, you would have to go down to the swamp and walk over.
Okay. Yeah, 3 arches sounds like that's probably a pretty substantial distance.
It is about 1,000 feet.
Yeah. So minor inconvenience to the flyers. Pretty major inconvenience to everyone else. Okay. Fair enough. How far down is it from here?
It's about 20 feet from the bridge level to the swamp below.
Okay. Well, guys, there's not really any way to avoid people getting their boots wet. At least some people getting their boots wet. So, you want me to rig up a line so you guys can climb down? It's not really that bad.
I suppose.
I don't know that there's anything to even put a line on up here. It's just a road.
There is a railing on the side.
All right. I will go ahead and tie off the rope to the railing, and I'll keep a hand on it just in case.
Goulash is going to begin climbing down on his own, next to the rope.
Okay, does Goulash have a climb speed?
He does today.
Excellent. Everyone else has to climb down the rope. Again, it's a fairly easy climb. There's not a whole lot going on that would make it hard. And eventually you guys all make your way down into the muck.
I'm just going to fly ahead to the, I guess the first collapsed arch and just kind of perch up and take a look around.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check. Mm-hmm. So at this gatehouse, you can see that, again, the gates are open at the connection point. And the northern tower looks to have suffered some damage or some gashes in the wall, though it's not quite as badly collapsed as the previous one's southern tower was. The southern tower at this gate appears to be relatively undamaged, and you can even see a rotten, but still present, wooden conical roof on it. And you also, with that type of perception check, do see something moving in the bridge level through one of the arrow slits. Like you see light, no light, light.
Okay. Yeah, just a touch of dark for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like something passed in front of the arrow slit.
Okay. Well, I'll hang tight where I'm at until the group kind of catches up, and then I'll inform them.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm just waiting. You guys trudging through the mud, or?
Well, apparently that's all we can do is trudge through the mud to get over there. Damn it.
There is no there's nothing in the Azamar wings that say I can't carry somebody, but I ain't carrying nobody. I'm not super strong, and I'm definitely not super interested in carrying people across this muck.
Okay. So it is worth noting that at the ground level, like the swamp level, there are like heavy wooden doors set into the towers for ground level access. On both the north and the south tower, they are currently closed.
I'm sorry, where exactly did we see that, or did he say that he saw that movement from? Was it?
It's up through one of the arrow slits, and I'll point out the window wherever that was.
So we'd have to go inside the tower to get up there.
Yeah, the movement was inside.
Well, what do we think? Do we want to go in there and see who it is, or
Let's go in there and see what it is. Let's go in there and see what it is. Root it
I
out.
like the way you
I think we should consider whether you want to go in through the bottom or if you want to climb up and see if there's an open way.
No reason we couldn't do both.
Yeah, let's split the party. We'll have somebody come in from the roof, too.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but I think a pincer attack could be good. If they end up being hostile.
Just waiting for Spectre to drop his new character in here and just molder the fuck out of this place until it's all gone.
Oh, is Spectre joining us today?
No. Not that I know of. I just remember him collapsing some structures is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Alright. Well.
Well, I'm going to start climbing up the outside of the tower.
Okay.
And I'd like to make sure not to pass over any arrow slits as I'm doing that.
Sure. Are you trying to be quiet while you do this, like stealthy?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you start climbing go ahead and make a stealth check as you do so. Okay. So yeah, you're not walking, climbing up this. How high up are you going? How many stories?
Up to the top.
Okay. So yeah, you climb up all 4 stories, getting to the top in the conical roof. What's your passive perception?
It is 12.
Okay. So yeah, you get up to the top and you look in. You can see that there's like a large chunk of the roof that's been taken out and appears to have fallen on the stairs heading to the level beneath this.
All right. Well, I'll peer over the edge. What do I see down there? Just more wrecked tower interior.
Well, that first level is when you're looking into through the conical one. So you got that wood on the stairs. In the middle of the floor, you also see a corpse, or at least part of one. You don't see any legs, and it looks to be missing an arm.
Okay, so just a dead body with no legs and one missing arm?
Yeah. Yeah, from the looks of it, from your position, you can see that it was wearing chainmail, and the chainmail has like this ragged edge at the bottom, where it looks like the lower torso is just ripped off.
Okay, so this guy got bisected by something.
Yep.
I'll climb down further and see if I can investigate a little.
So you're climbing in.
Yeah, I'll climb in.
Okay.
I can, hang on ceilings and cling to walls and stuff.
Right. I was just making sure I understood you.
Yes.
All right, yeah, so you get closer to him. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Ooh. Must have been internal bleeding.
Looks like he OD'd.
Hey, speaking of them, what are they doing down there?
Looks like gang violence.
Yeah. Well, hold on. There's one thing you would get with even with a 6th. Is you kind of like look over the body a bit, kind of roll them onto its side. You can see 2 prominent, tusk-like teeth kind of poking out through its lips, and that you can tell this was an orc.
Oh, an orc in the shape.
This orc was killed by dying to death.
But that is about all you know about how it died. Is it died to death?
Well, I've heard that people die when they are killed.
He suffered fatal death.
Mm-hmm.
What's the roof over the central arch? Clearly, that's lower. Is that flat on the top, or is that actually like a?
It's gabled.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Gabled roof. Okay. You know what we could do? I could toss a line over it. People can climb up and climb down the other side if we don't want to go in, if there's something in there. If you want to go in, we should probably just pick a door and go in. If I recall, though, there are monsters that explode, among other awful things. So I don't know if we want to go in there.
Can I go any further into the tower from where I am, or is the?
The stairs down are right there. There's just some wood planks on them. Looks like they fell from the ceiling.
Well, if they're just milling around out there, I'll continue exploring the inside of this tower.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll pull aside the planks and go down the stairs.
Okay. I assume you're trying to still remain stealthy.
Yes, I will gently move aside the planks and tiptoe down the stairs.
Right. So could you please make another stealth check for me?
Yes.
All right. You are quiet as a mouse. So you kind of just basically just pull the mushy planks over and just set them gently down. start making your way down the worn stone steps. And then you stop. You stop because you hear what sounds like a skittering sound coming from below and around the corner.
Can I get a peek at it?
Yes, you can. So you look around the corner, and it's, you realize that it's not the walking type of skittering. It's some humanoid-ish looking creature that is making chittering and kind of like this discordant, low shrieking sound. Kind of just milling about in the far corner, in the far edge of that room. Just kind of pushing its arms up against the wall like it's trying to feel for something.
Interesting. What's going on outside with the rest of the party?
I don't know. What is the rest of the party doing?
I mean, I'm probably like, so, you think he's dead in there?
Oh, hey, what happened to Mister?
I don't know.
Is Sleuth here?
Yeah, I'm just helping.
Help that soup.
I'm here.
Mister probably just lost internet or something. He'll be back.
So when you say guy outside, you really mean one guy outside.
Yeah, the one guy outside.
Okay.
Just guy outside.
Well, in that case, I guess I'm just gonna go wait on the other side,
Other side of what?
the gatehouse.
Okay. So he's kind of fly around.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you just land there. So Goulash, you're the only. I mean, he's just waiting on the bridge. So you're the one
All
that's there. You see this thing,
I see that thing, and it's clawing up against the door.
the wall.
The wall.
Like you could if you were trying to probably sneak your way to the stairs going down from this floor even without encountering him. He's on the far side of the room from you.
Ooh, okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, you quietly slip around, start heading down those stairs. The sound of more, chittering and shrieking. And down there, however, you see two larger ones.
Ooh.
Almost ogre-like in stature. This is the floor. This would be the floor that would be the bridge level. And you can see that in the sunlight kind of moving through these things as they seem to be taking turns like punching each other. Though it doesn't seem to be doing any damage. It's almost like they're entertaining each other by just slapping each other in the face.
Wow.
We can see like pale and seemingly lidless eyes, a face distorted by too many teeth and too little nose, and transparent skin kind of revealing a muscled form underneath it.
Ew.
Yeah, they do not appear to have noticed you yet.
I think the basics are done of that. At least enough to get started. I am here for the session now.
Good.
Cool.
You're on the wrong side of the gatehouse. Have fun.
Go ahead, Mister's back.
Welcome back.
I apologize.
Shit happens.
Apparently, I didn't charge my computer and it died.
Oof.
So I am back now. I plugged it up, so I am back. Do I need to roll an inch or something? Is we in
No,
Not yet.
no fight started. I mean, guys up on the bridges flew around. Arkellis, and you are just outside the gatehouse in the muck of the swamp. Goulash kind of crawled up the side of the wall because he's got that climb speed to take a look inside.
Ah, okay.
I
Is
think
there
I'm
a
gonna.
door to this place?
There is a heavy closed wooden door at the ground level where you guys are.
Well,
Do you do anything with it?
Do you want to try and quietly enter, or should I? I'll take that as I should. I will try and quietly open the door.
Okay. So you approach the door and kind of gently kind of push up against it, and you realize that the door is barred. And you can tell it's barred because the door is old and decrepit. And despite having some rusted like iron banding, you can see through gaps in the wood and stuff that there's this, moldy looking bar on the other wooden bar set across it on the other side.
Wait, is this the same level that I'm on? Can I see the
No,
bar?
it would be the level below you.
Oh.
Does this bar happen to be size large
No,
and non-magic?
it is not magical.
From my side, is the door closer to me open or closed?
The door closer to you. I'm not sure what you mean by
The
that.
gate.
The gate, yes.
So I can see this barred door?
No, the barred door is on the ground level on the other side of the gatehouse from you. You're on the east side bridge level.
Oh, I thought
They are on the west side, you're on the west side bridge level. They are on the east side ground floor, below the bridge.
Okay, I see. All right, I thought the barred door was the other gate.
No, that's the fighter door.
Understood.
Is the bar smaller than large?
Yes.
Alright, I'm just gonna animate it then. The performance of creation. No, wrong one. Where is it? Animating performance. As an action, I can animate a large or smaller non-magic item I can see within 30 feet.
Okay.
Friendly obeys my commands. I'm just going to have it quietly unbar and go back onto the ground out of the way.
Okay. Have the bar make a stealth check.
What stats does this thing get? Funny enough, it's better at this than I am. I don't think it's going to be sneaking by the bar exam, though.
Yeah. So the bar kind of squelches a little as it picks up, and it's setting down the ground, and it just makes like that clapping noise wood makes, and you drop like one end of it slightly onto the ground for like that last inch.
Oops, that's not good.
Goulash.
Yes.
Those two ogres stop slapping each other and are looking over close to your direction. Not directly at you, looking at the stairs going down.
I peek back up the way I came before they can see me.
All right, yeah, you kind of go back around, you hear them start thudding towards those stairs. And then you hear and see that little guy coming from above down the stairs towards you.
Ah, shit.
And he sees you. You should roll initiative. Everyone should roll initiative, because Arkellis, you could also hear the thud of stuff coming down the stairs to that ground level.
Wanted to get in at least one stealthy hit. I should have done it sooner.
So be it.
Indeed.
I may be mostly a bard, but I am also a paladin. I'm not exactly a stealthy paladin.
Well, I'm apparently a stealthy barbarian.
You're not walking around in plate mail, are you?
No, of course not.
Oh, looks like beta dropped. That's unfortunate for you guys. Oh, well, Guy,
I don't know anything's happening.
correct.
I might hear something, but I'd have no idea. So.
You can see that suddenly several of the arrow slits in that first level there on the bridge level are brighter, like lights coming through them now. Something stepped out of the way.
So Goulash went in the tower, and now things in the tower are moving. Where did I last see Goulash? It was up higher, right?
Yeah, he climbed up to the very top of the tower.
So that's where I go.
All right, yeah. So that would basically take all of your movement to fly up to the top of the tower from there.
Okay.
Looking down, you can see, through that hole, the wood plank on the stairs, the opening Goulash made, the half body down there.
All right. Well, noticing that it doesn't look like Goulash, I guess I will go ahead and action dash my way inside.
Okay, yeah, you dash and fly down the stairs to that second level. You hear the sound of something going down the stairs behind you.
Okay.
You would still have enough movement that if you wanted to, you could get to the top of those stairs.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Yeah, you get to the top of the stairs and you see this fanged and lipless humanoid creature with spindly legs and long arms rolling down. I shouldn't say rolling. Clambering down the stairs towards Goulash at the end of it.
Okay. That's it for me.
All right, Arkellis. You hear thuds up above. Like inside the tower, the floor level above you.
I'm going to back away from the door and look for somewhere to hide.
Okay, you're in a swamp. There are tons of places to hide. There is a pool of water you could jump into. There's a tree you could hide behind, a rock.
Let's go with a tree.
Okay, yeah, so you run around to the other side of the tree. And you take the hide action. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Eight.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Goulash. You can see behind that little spindly thing coming down the stairs at you, you can see Guy has arrived.
Alright, well, time for the pincer attack. I rage and I move into melee with it and try to rip it apart with my claws.
Okay.
Rip and tear.
Roll to hit. Two hits.
Alright, 22 magical slashing.
All right, yeah, you rip and tear into it, blood going everywhere, black Icarus blood at that, and it is badly bloodied.
Cool.
You can also, you don't feel quite right.
Oh, did I get this blood on me?
A little bit. Most of it got on the walls and the floor, but a little bit got on you. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, well, he's going to try and claw your face off. Sorry, bite your face off.
Distinct difference there.
He eats his own face.
Sort of. He like tries to bite you, misses, and clamps down. You hear the sound of teeth cracking inside his mouth. Yeah, like he tried to bite without regard for the force he was using.
Did he bite his own tongue?
You did not see a tongue.
He must have already bit his own tongue at some point in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just never learn.
Yeah, so Kellis, you hear something just hit the door and just hear like mad scrabbling at the door. Sounds like a rather large weasel is attacking it, from the sound of it.
A weasel?
That's what it sounds like. Like, have you ever had a weasel fall into a garbage can?
No.
Oh, it sounds like that. How about a raccoon? You ever had a raccoon get into a garbage can?
Not one that survived long enough for me to find it.
Ah, okay.
YouTube weasel garbage can.
You've never seen like a cat get stuck in between the couch and the wall?
Yes, I have seen that a lot actually. My cat is not very smart.
It's a little like that. Or like when a cat falls into a bathtub.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Now I just feel sorry for this thing.
Well, it wasn't full.
Yeah. I feel less sorry then.
All right. And then the big guys. You hear thudding going down the stairs. A moment's pause, and that heavy wooden door explodes. Flinders gets sent out into there. You can see another one of those little, fanged, spindly leg things in front of the door. Just get kind of punted aside as one of the big guys starts trying to shove his way through this door. But it's a rather tight squeeze, and it basically takes him his whole turn in action to force himself through the doorway out into the swamp. Guy.
Okay. Well, my friend is in danger. I don't think I
You also
would-
don't feel quite right.
Oh, good. Something in the air here. I don't know. I'm gonna go attack him.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, Beta's back. Beta, you should roll initiative.
I really don't feel quite right.
Yeah, you really don't. 'Cause that
I'm
misses.
back again.
Excellent. Roll initiative.
Luckily, I have multi-attack now.
That is lucky.
Not that lucky.
It is that lucky because that hits.
Wow. Deal all of 9 damage.
Okay. He dies.
Yay.
Yeah, you guys feel a little better up in the stairs. Him being dead, his body's kind of flopping down the stairs.
Well, that's one problem solved. And I'd like to use some movement to proceed down a little bit.
Okay. Yep, you can go down the stairs, and you can see the stairs leading down to the ground floor from the bridge level. The room stinks. You can see other humanoid corpses that had been out of sight before you had left the stairs. All of them mangled and crushed, looking like an ogre sat on them.
Fair enough. That's it for me.
All right, Urkellis.
So there's the big ogre thing and the angry weasel I haven't seen yet down here.
So what you have seen is you saw that door get kicked open by one of the two ogre things. The other ogre thing had forced aside the little guy that was scrabbling at the door like an angry weasel. And then had kind of forced himself through the doorway, but it was a tight squeeze, and so he barely fit. So one of the ogres is currently standing in the swamp in front of Beta. Another is inside on the ground floor, and there's also that weasel guy.
Let's see. Alright, how about this? I'm gonna need intelligence saves from Synaptic Static if I can hit all 3 of them in a 20-foot radius without hitting friendlies.
You can.
Wonderful, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
There is a minimum intelligence of 2 if that's relevant.
Good to know. They meet that requirement.
Alright. The 18 passes. Not by a lot, but it passes. 86, 32 psychic damage, minus 1d6 from attack rolls, concentration saves, and ability checks.
Okay. Mister, are you here?
Yes.
All right. So you see the synaptic static go off, causing psychic damage to this hulking ogre in front of you. He
How
does
far
not.
is this ogre in front of me?
He's like 10 feet away from you. He does not appear to be affected by the psychic damage. Instead, you take 32 points of psychic damage.
What?
He reflects it to you.
Oh.
An ogre can do that?
This one can.
This one has translucent skin. You can see the muscles moving under him. He's pale, lidless eyes, and a face distorted by too many teeth and too little nose. It is some mutated ogre. And yes, he can do that.
Okay, so if he counters all magic, we're in for some trouble.
So yeah, Beta. So you ended up taking 32 psychic damage from the synaptic static.
All right. I am going to. Is it my turn?
I don't know,
Okay,
Arkellis. Well, Arkellis just cast a spell. I was just telling you how that spell affected you.
Oh, okay.
Arkellis, do you do anything else? I know Sam Star also has the D6 to attacks and saves. That is not reflected to Beta. Just the damage.
All right. Then I'm going to have. Is that bar still around? I'm going to have
This is
that
inside the
stab
tower.
one. All right, I'm going to have it stab one of these ogres in the butt.
All right, yeah, it swings around and tries to smack the ogre in the ass. Have it roll to hit. Probably the one in the tower, I assume, since that's where the bar is.
That would make sense. It's 25 hit.
It does. Roll damage.
12 force damage.
Okay. Yeah, well, you hear a cry of surprise from inside the tower.
That's going to be my turn.
All right, Beta.
I think it's my turn. Oh, nope, sorry, he rolled an 18.
Yeah, Beta.
Kind of leery on doing it, but I'm gonna blast him.
Okay. Two hits.
Don't worry, Beta. When the ogre tears you to pieces, at least it'll get most of the mud out.
What type of damage is that?
My guess is force from Eldritch Blast.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's force damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
force
yeah,
damage.
you blast him, causing several pockmarks to appear. You do damage him.
Oh, good. He can take that. All right. You know what? How is everybody else looking? Is anybody but me? Nobody but me got hit.
It looks like only you took damage. You can see Arkellis hiding behind a tree about 20 feet to the west or east of you. You do not see Guy or Goulash.
Well, then I am going to. I am going to do nothing. I am going to end my turn. Yes.
Okay. You do nothing. Goulash.
Alright, so I saw those two ogres and then Guy go down those stairs.
Well, you saw guys kind of step in front of you and go into the room at the bottom of these stairs. He has not gone to the basement yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll go down those stairs.
Okay. Yep, you go past guy down to the basement. You see a bar, such as would be used to bar a door, smacking one of the ogres in the ass. You can also see one of those spindly guys kind of knocked to the side near the door that leads out. Outside, you can see one of the big hulking guys standing in front of Beta.
Okay, so I'll go for the spindly guy then, if I can get within melee of him with my 40 feet all told.
You could get in melee with him. You will be passing right next to the big guy, though, to do that. The big guy is between you and him.
Oh, then I'll go to the big guy.
Okay. Yeah, you walk up to the big guy.
Yep.
One hit.
These guys are a little chunkier.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, that's 11 slashing.
Is that magical slashing?
It is magical slashing.
Excellent. Yeah, you rip and you tear.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, well, I don't want to do that other thing I can do to him. Is he... How close is he to the spindly guy?
Between him and the spindly guy is like 5 feet.
Oh, they're... Okay. I almost said they're engaged. I've been reading too much Star Wars. Yeah, then in that case, I need him to make a wisdom save.
The spindly guy?
No, the big guy.
Okay.
Well, but you never know. Maybe they do have a wedding ring.
Let me do some math real quick.
Assuming whatever this is for has a 20 in that stat for the DC, that is a fail.
He just barely does not pass. He's going to attack the spindly guy. Just once.
Okay. Is this a reaction or something?
Oh, let me read it. I don't know if it uses his reaction. Yes, it uses its reaction to make... Oh, can it not take reactions right now?
No, it can. I was just...
Oh, okay.
Wait, that's right. Does Synaptic Static fuck up reaction?
No.
Okay.
Only attacks, ability checks, and concentration saves.
Okay. Just checking.
If Synaptic does affect it, though, it
will
would
affect
take
the
off
attack
this
roll.
attack. Yeah.
Right, it's a d6, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he hit the spindly guy. Spindly guy is now bloodied.
Cool. That'll be it for me.
Okay. On his turn, the spindly guy is going to try and jump the ogre. He fails.
What, like jump over him?
No,
or,
he gets
attack
pissed
him?
off that the ogre just hit him, so he tries to kill the ogre. So he just jumps him.
Man, I'd love that move.
I mean, okay.
All right. Ogres. Well, the big ogre inside the room has decided that you are therefore the biggest threat, Goulash, and he's going to try and hit you twice.
All right.
That's good. Let them think the barbarian's the biggest threat.
He hits once.
Okay. He hits once, dealing 11 bludgeoning damage to you.
Non-magical?
It is non-magical. The guy outside is going to try and hit Beta twice.
Negative.
A 20
I can
misses.
shield that second one.
Excellent. All right. And then we are back to Guy.
Okay. Ogre.
You can go to the stairs and kind of go down them a little bit, and you can get sight of this ogre that Goulash is engaged with.
Yeah. Let's see if I can swap over to my my lightsaber here. And
It appears to be full of muck and mud, and you think it might explode if you turn it on now.
Good.
oh well. I'll give it a good shake, and then I'm turning it on anyway.
Right, so the third gatehouse is utterly destroyed. Everybody takes 3,000 force damage.
Turn it on and then very quickly throw it at him.
It doesn't much
As
make
a
a
reaction,
difference.
I cast Misty Step.
Anyway, so what do you actually do?
Your charred remains appear on the other side. Okay.
Remains.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna laser sword the ogre.
All right. Well, roll to hit.
Oh.
That's a crit.
Well, it matters whether I do damage or not. So let's see if I do damage.
I want to clarify something. I did not have to shield that 20. My armor class is 21, so I did
Nice.
not have to shield.
Cool.
5 is cold damage.
5 is cold damage.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark him as my favorite foe with this hit.
Okay.
So I can add a little damage to that. And yeah, let's fuck him up. All right. And I guess I don't know if 6 of that is cold damage or 10 of that is cold damage, but one of those things is true.
It doesn't matter. And you deal 14 damage to him.
Okay. And then I will hit him again.
Please do so.
Bum, bum, ba-dam.
Unfortunate. That is a miss.
Okay. Bonus action, elbow him in what should be a schnoz.
You are insufficiently tall to do so.
I have wings.
Fair enough. You elbow him in the schnoz.
I do not.
You miss. You miss.
Yeah, I don't like he's not even looking at me, and then I go to elbow him, and then he turns, and he's so fucking ugly that it just throws me, man. It just throws me. I'm like, holy shit. I don't connect.
Yeah, it's like there's no fucking nose.
Got an armor class of fucking ugly.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Archelaus.
I'm 20 feet from the big bastard.
Yes.
How big is he? Like size large, huge?
Yes.
All
He's
right.
large.
I'm going to. Fuck it. I'm going to run over and I'm just going to knock him down.
Okay.
Trying to shove him. He'll have advantage being a size larger than me.
I'm just checking for and ability checks. Is it even possible for them to pass that intelligence save?
If they nat 20 or get a 19, the DC is 17.
Okay, well, let me just check because I forgot to do that at the end of their turn.
There's not more saves at the end of their turn, I think.
Yeah, there is.
Is there? Snap
The
to
target
20.
can make it's the last sentence. The target can make an intelligence save at the end of its turns.
Right. All right. Yeah, there is.
Doesn't matter.
I was looking at the wrong paragraph. All right.
All right, yeah, you knock him prone.
But I don't have any means of keeping him there. but it will give our ranged spellcaster a safer means of getting out of melee. That's my turn.
Okay. Beta.
Alright, so how many enemies can I see? Just the one, or is there another one?
You can see the guy outside. It's a melee. You can see it through the door inside. You can see another one of these big guys.
Okay. So am I in melee with one?
Well, he took a swing at you, yeah. He's 10 feet away. He looks like he's some reach.
Okay, 10 feet. Okay. Well, then I'm going to shoot both of those guys.
Okay. Well, roll to hit. Hit and a crit.
Well, the one closest to me, I'm going to regular hit. The one that's inside the room, I'm critting.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Okay.
Two guiding bolts. I twin spelled the guiding bolt to hit both of them.
Nice, and they are both glowing.
That is radiant damage.
Indeed, and it looks like it burned them all. Anything else?
No. No, I'm done.
All right, Goulash.
Alright, has the big guy been guiding bolted?
He has.
Cool. Remind me what that does again, Mr.
Advantage on your attack.
Oh, just advantage. Nice.
Only on the first attack against him.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm still going to try to hit him.
He's a barbarian, so he always has advantage.
No, because I don't reckless every time the way you do.
Why not? You're a barbarian.
Yeah, but I
You're
don't like getting
enraged. You're
critted.
reckless. But that's why you have buckets of hit points. That's why you're a barbarian.
I'm just going to sit here with my 21 AC and my however many hit points and continue to play cautiously.
Oh, okay.
Kind of
I think
barbarian.
with Mina, I used Reckless even when I had advantage. Like a lot.
I use reckless all the time. You can't go wrong with
proper
reckless.
barbarian.
Okay, well that's the first hit.
That hits.
Alright, and just to satisfy the rest of you, I'll reckless the other two anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you'll hit every time.
Not necessarily.
Probably.
Roll a 1, but odds are good that you'll hit.
No, well I missed once.
You missed on the 15.
Well, I mean,
2 hits.
Alright. That is 24 non-magical slashing. Or magical slashing, I don't know why I said non-magical.
All right, that bloodies him.
Cool, is the spindly guy still up?
The spindly guy is still up.
Alright, then I need the big guy to make another wisdom save. Alright, he fails again, and he's going to make another attack against the spindly guy.
The spindly guy is pulped.
Cool. And I love this ability. Alright, that's it for me.
All right. Let's see. Spindly guy's dead. Big guys. All right. Well, this ogre, he's you're gonna see like his form kind of ripple a little bit, and tentacles are going to burst out of his chest, and he's going to make multiple attacks against you and Guy.
Well, he has advantage on attacks against me.
Yeah, so first we'll handle the ones against Guy, because he'll be flat.
17 is the number to beat.
Okay, so you take 26 points of damage. Of that, 13 is psychic damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Guy.
So be it.
Right. Well, nothing happens to you. Then the tentacles go. He hits a multi-attack against everybody, so that is also Goulash.
He misses twice.
Indeed. All right, then the other guy outside is going to stand up. And he is going to take exception to Arkellis' presence.
I can't possibly imagine why. That is going to be a hit.
1 hit or 2?
1.
Yep, so he slams you for 9 bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
They are still staticked, and it is Guy's turn.
All
Guy,
right.
there is an ogre where basically everything from just below the shoulders and up is now tentacles. There's no head and no arms. It's like an half ogre, half sea enemy.
Cool.
It's Resident Evil 4
Well,
bullshit.
he no longer has a schnoz. He didn't really have one before, but I mean, there's not even anything schnoz adjacent at this point. So I'm just gonna have to resort to hitting him with my sword, my laser sword.
Okay, roll to hit. No.
And again.
Oh, that hits.
Okay.
And what do you do to him?
I will make this guy my favorite foe, because the other guy was my favorite foe before. And then I'm gonna. Oh right, I have to roll a d6. So let's do 3.
Lightning.
All right, that's bad, but okay.
Now you tase the ogre.
He takes 12.
Yes, he does, as you shock the piss out of him.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yep. I'm gonna roundhouse kick him right in the chest.
Okay.
I don't think he cared.
Your foot just kind of like sinks in a little bit, like it's made of like muddy gelatin. Doesn't seem to have much of an effect.
Okay. I'm just gonna make an awful, disgusted face and end my turn. My poor boots.
Your poor boots, indeed. Arkellis.
So one of them just pulled a Resident Evil 4. I don't like that. I'm going to cast Rolithim's Psychic Lance at it. It needs an intelligence save. There is no minimum intelligence requirement.
Which one are you targeting? The one next to you or the one inside the building?
The one inside that is Shadow Tentacles Resident Evil bullshit.
Well, you got a -1 for the intelligence save.
Call me crazy, I think that fails.
Probably. What does the Psychic Lance do?
This does some damage. I don't remember if it's incapacitated until the end of my next turn. And psychic damage. Here we go. 25 psychic damage.
Okay, yeah, so you send your shimmering force of psychic power into that creature. He is incapacitated, but the psychic damage seems to just reflect off of him. And instead, Guy and Goulash both take 25 psychic damage.
Oh.
I'm going to use my reaction on this.
Ow.
Alright, so that's all psychic damage, not just on...
Don't do that. Stop it. Don't do it.
Well, there goes all my magic, except for like 3 spells. It's the one downside to being a bard.
Anything else from you, Arkellis?
I'm gonna smack it with the door bar.
The door bar also would have taken 25 psychic damage. I forgot it was there.
Oh no.
Is it immune
So
to
did I
psychic?
last turn. It is.
Okay. Some of them are. I just wasn't sure if that was. Alright, so yeah, have it make its attack roll. That's a hit.
5 force damage.
Yep.
Alright, that's my turn.
Alright, Beta. Beta, are you here?
Mister.
Beta dodges. Goulash.
The big tentacle guy is still there.
Yes, the walking sea anemone is directly in front of you.
Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll reckless him 3 more times. Why not?
Okay. Why not indeed?
Yeah, there we go.
3 hits.
21 magical slashing. Nope, sorry, that's 32 magical slashing.
I was about to say, okay.
Yeah, I only read the last part of my roll for some reason.
Alright, yeah, you tear and you rip, and he's, looking rough. Still walking, though. Anything else?
Yeah, the other guy, he's outside of the door. He's not close by.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that's it then.
Okay. Let's see. See an enemy.
I do see an enemy.
Aha! He
that's
recharges
nice.
that ability, and once again makes a series of attacks against both Goulash, Guy, and the Plank.
Is this the one that's incapacitated?
Oh, he is incapacitated. That's right. He cannot take actions.
If he was incapacitated, then can I have not recklessed?
Sure.
Alright.
Well, you would have got advantage anyway.
That's
No,
right.
not from incapacitated.
No, it doesn't?
Incapacitated just stops him from moving. It does not help us.
Doesn't
hit
stop
him.
him from moving. It just stops him from
Good.
taking actions or reactions.
Oh, disregard then.
Okay. Alright, but the guy outside is still up. He's going to attempt to grapple Arkellis.
This is fine.
Oh yeah, this is fine.
And when you dodge, he tries to smack you.
That's a miss.
And he misses. Alright. Guy, it is your turn.
All right. Angry lightsaber noises. Oh,
Not
by the
angry
way, angry lightsaber noises at advantage as I use my fighting spirit.
Okay. I can just imagine your character in the tower just making lightsaber noises as he's swinging a sword at stuff.
Correct.
And to hit.
Okay, there's the first one.
What type?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's important.
Cold.
I think? Yeah.
He's still alive.
I'm working on it. Okay, second attack.
Also hits. What is 2?
I need to jot these down somewhere better. Okay.
He is doing drugs, dropping acid on this guy.
Oh, Lord.
All right. There's another 10 damage.
Alrighty.
And then I action surge and do it again.
You would. Mm-hmm.
And that is fire?
Fire, I believe. Yeah, fire.
12.
Yep. Yeah, he's looking real rough.
All right, one more.
Uh-huh. Also a hit. More acid.
Drugs.
And he dies, turning to this gelatinous mush at your feet.
Gross. It's all over my boots. I would like to use my free action to try to shake as much of that goop off my boots as I can.
Yeah,
Adding
you
my
like flap your wings, like get a little bit of feet away, and you start shaking your feet, little bits of gelatinous goo going all over goulash as a result. Arkellis.
He's a barbarian.
Yeah, they don't call me goulash for nothing.
It's worked well so far. I'm gonna grapple this guy.
Okay.
Ah, damn. What do I have? That'll be it for me.
Okay.
Ooh,
Beta?
actually, can I move the door bar and smack him?
How much movement does the door bar have?
40 feet.
Yes, you can.
Wonderful.
Hit.
12 force damage. That's my turn.
All right. Beta?
All right, how many are left?
Well, there's a big guy in front of you. Looks like the one inside the tower exploded.
Aw. So I'm gonna blast the one that's still here.
All right. Road to hit. Two hits.
$27 points of force damage.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that is it dead yet? Or is it
No,
almost
it's not
dead?
even bloodied.
Ooh. Then I'm gonna action surge and do it again.
All right.
Yeah, we've basically been ignoring this one to deal with the other one first.
Two hits.
$21 more points of force damage.
It is now bloodied.
And I am now done.
All right, Goulash.
All right. How far away is the bloodied guy outside?
From you, 20 feet.
All right. And I will run out there and pounce on him and try to rip him to shreds.
All right, you were out there, pounce on him and try to rip him to shreds. Roll to hit. You're just trailing like these like goopy footprints behind you as you hit 3 times.
Cool. Recklessly.
Yep.
All right. 30 magical slashing.
All right, yeah, you tear deep gouges into him.
And this is the last guy left?
This is the last guy left.
All right, that's it.
All right, his turn. His upper torso undulates and explodes into a series of tentacles, which begin making strikes on everyone around him. This will be a pair of strikes, each to Arkellis, Beta, and Goulash.
Hey,
It's got
no.
advantage for me.
Yep, so first Arkellis.
Miss.
All right, then Beta. Does it?
Miss. Oh, and I can shield the second one and it'll miss.
All right, you shield and it misses. And then finally against Goulash.
Hit, miss.
All right. Dealing 12 bludgeoning damage to you.
Hmm.
And Guy's turn. Oh, wait, for I say.
Ooh. Can I sentinel attack since this thing is in my melee range and attacked an ally?
Sure.
What number? There it is.
That's it.
23 to hit. Alright, I'll throw a 3rd level smite at this thing.
Haha, get smoked.
Is this a fiend or an undead?
No.
This is then. Did this right. 26, 18 radiant, and 8 physical bludgeoning from a magical weapon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's looking pretty banged up. It's still alive, though. All right, Guy.
Okay. Whoosh, whoosh.
All right, you fly out there and stab him with the lightsaber.
All right.
Hit.
Fire.
Fur.
And I guess he can be my favorite foe again. Why not?
All right, well, brings him to the brink of death.
And then I swing again.
Hit. Cold. Get some icy hot going on there.
Yep.
And he also falls and melts into this goo that gets all over, Beta, Goulash, and Arkellis.
Oh.
Nice thing about having a laser sword is I don't have to clean it.
Yeah.
Just the handle.
Indeed. You guys are out of initiative.
I'm gonna get out of the goop and just start cleaning myself off with prestidigitation.
Could you get my boots?
I will also clean guys' boots and sword handle.
Very nice, thank you.
Yeah, so you cast prestidigitation on it. And it gets like thicker, harder, and stickier when you do so.
Oh, good.
Oh.
And then it explodes.
No.
Fortunately, it doesn't do all that much like damage. Like it's not a damaging explosion. It just sort of like gets hard, cracks, and just blows apart in front of you.
Hmm.
Oh, that's gross.
Like turns to clay and shatters.
Forcibly, yes.
Mhm.
Does it get clean, though?
It does.
That's good enough for now. Find a cleaner way to get rid of it later. Alright. Do we need sit down for 10 minutes somewhere clean-ish? Got a tower. Yay, nay?
Yeah. Just somewhere a little cleaner than this would be great.
Inside the tower it is. I will start heading into the tower.
Okay, you go into the tower where these guys were staying. It does not smell cleaner.
Am I able to clean, like, the top floor with prestidigitation?
Oh yeah, you can clean the room, and it's like the surface is clean. The air still stinks.
This place is gross.
I'll see if I can fix that with Tiny Hut, but I'm not getting my hopes too high.
I'm just gonna flap my wings near the window to help air it out, near the arrow slit. Try to keep some moving air in here.
It's an exercise in futility, I'm sure.
It does help a little bit, but now it's beginning to smell like swamp.
Goulash will counteract the cleaning efforts by entering the room.
He's just covered in this stuff. Just, Pigpen just walking through the place.
You know what? I'm gonna go take my rest on the roof where I'm not in an enclosed space. Goodbye.
Yeah,
I'm
in
gonna
fact,
go do the same.
he does like the wet dog shake off, and it just goes everywhere.
I'm gonna take cover from that and make my way to the roof as soon as the coast is clear of any indirect fire.
Okay, like you can go to the top floor, but how are you getting on the roof?
Is there no like stair roof access from inside?
Correct.
No, the roof is collapsed.
No, it's not. There's still roof. It's
Or
got a
partially
hole in
collapsed.
it. Yeah, it's got a
Yeah,
hole
it's
in
got a
it.
hole.
But there's no like stairs or
How?
anything going up to the roof.
Yeah, the stairs were destroyed.
How high is the hole?
12 feet.
Got a 7-foot vertical, and I'm 6 feet tall. Is that enough to jump and climb up with 18 strength?
Just make an athletics check to try. Sure.
Fuck it. I didn't take expertise for nothing. Let's go. $14.
You know, let's all climb up on this rickety old roof. That's a good idea.
All right, yeah, you kind of grab on. You kind of lose your grip a bit, but you're eventually able to kind of hoist yourself up and get onto the roof with Guy there.
Right, wonderful. I will
Creaking
start
dangerously under you.
less wonderful, but not the worst. I'm going to start ritual casting Tiny Hut.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything while he's doing that?
Nope.
Where are we at? Are we in somewhere dry, or are we standing in swamp? Because if we're standing in swamp, I'm going to try to find a place dry.
Well, apparently everyone went inside the tower and went to the top floor.
Well, if
that's
he's
not
casting
okay.
Tiny Hut, I'll be inside the Tiny Hut.
Yes, I will definitely be inside the tiny hut. I've taken out my tinker's tools, and I am cleaning mud.
The
Off of
tiny
my
hut is
rope.
on the roof that's
Yeah, good luck.
already creaking not very safely with 2 people.
I don't know why you're doing the tiny hut up there.
Yeah, I
Oh, he's
mean,
up there, and I'm up there, and y'all can get wrecked. Go
I
ahead.
can get up there too.
Yeah.
the beta can get up there. She can climb the wall. She's gonna.
I can almost guarantee the roof is going to collapse if either of you try.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, why are you casting it up there? That makes no good sense. Why did you just
Inside,
leave the rest of the party out?
inside is stinky.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I climb up there anyway.
Okay.
Okay. The roof, you can kind of feel the roof flexing as you walk on the rafters.
Beta's waiting on the roof to fall in so she can get in the tiny hut too.
All right, so about 6 minutes into this ritual, everyone's kind of standing around watching him.
Correct.
The roof gives way. And Goulash and Archelaus will both need to make a dexterity saving throw as they fall.
Is this a scene effect?
Yes, the roof just collapsed under you. Guy is flying, so it's not like that. So there's no reason to ask him to make this check.
I mean, honestly, by then I was probably sitting down. I'll make it.
Oh, okay, then you have to make it too.
Let's see. A dex save?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys fall through this roof, landing on the floor down there in front of Beta. Archelaus falling, the full feet, taking 3 points of bludgeoning damage. The other two managing to not to slide against broken stuff and not take fall damage.
So,
well, that
Goulash
helped
took-
with the airflow.
That's when the entire roof then collapses on top of you guys, and I need all 4 of you to make strength saves.
Oh, neat. Oh, neat.
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 I also need one from Beta. While the whole roof collapses on you guys, Beta and Archelaus, you both take 6 bludgeoning damage. Guy and Goulash take half that.
Okay.
Okay, so I take 3 points of damage. Cool.
With the collapse of the roof, air circulates quite violently, and the smell in this level is gone.
We did
Oh,
it.
thank goodness. Just put up your tiny hut.
I'll remember this.
Archelaus, I believe this is 2 concentration checks on you trying to complete that ritual for Tiny Hut.
You could just start over.
Does the roof collapsing under my feet not interrupt it?
It doesn't guarantee interruption. It does if you keep trying. It's just a concentration check. Yep. So you keep the ritual going through falling through the roof, and then now we need for the roof falling on you.
I don't think you want to succeed on this.
So throughout falling through the roof and then having the rest of the roof fall on him, he keeps the ritual going. And 4 minutes later, the tiny hut pops up.
Neat.
Several feet above the floor.
Okay, well, time to start over.
So does the tiny hut pop up where we are or where we were?
Where you are.
Okay.
If it was where we were, then it would just disappear right away anyways.
Yeah, it would just, since the ritual success, the spell ends instantly. It doesn't even appear.
No, the tiny hut falls on you.
Alright, well, I say we settle in for a short rest. I'll get us a nice little song going if we want.
Ooh.
Yay, nay.
Sure.
I say. Alright, let's see. What proficiencies do I have? A harp sounds nice. I'm going to just pull a harp out of the rubble and start playing a song of rest.
Okay. You start serenading them with a song of rest. The hour passes uneventfully, and you guys have taken a short rest.
Cool. What does that do? It's a d6 every, or if I choose to spend dice,
If you spend dice, it is an extra d8.
a d8. All right.
I'll spend 3 more. Low rolls, man.
Wow.
I'll do all that.
Yeah, that was not your roll, apparently.
I am mostly fine after all of that.
I am exceptionally fine.
I'm back to full. Alright, so onwards then?
Indeed.
Mister here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
We finished a short rest. You should roll that if you want it. You get an extra d8.
Assuming
one.
you're spending hit dice.
Yeah. Just one for the rest, though.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
There's a path past this tower, right?
Yes, a causeway continues past this gate.
And that's in the general direction of the place we're looking for. This contamination meteor, what was
It does
it?
head west, yes.
Sounds like a plan then. Any objections?
Nope. Let's go.
Nope. Let's continue.
West along the less icky causeway.
Alright, so you guys start out, head out through the first floor, onto the causeway level. To the east you can see that you're on the far side of that broken section of causeway. To the west you can see old and decrepit but still standing stone causeway. Then you head off through the gatehouse and on along the road. A couple hours pass. You notice the sun starting to get low in the sky. The light getting dark. You're not yet at the fourth gatehouse. But you are at the end of the day.
Well, a bubble here is as good as anything.
All
It's
right.
dry land.
Alright, bubble it is.
Okay.
Yep.
So you cast your tiny hut. And when you do, you guys also notice that to the south in the swamp, a light lights up. And you can see a glowing yellow light off in the distance there.
Is it like a solid light, like the light cantrip, or does it flicker like a torch?
It is solid and unwavering.
I don't think we should investigate the strange lights in the middle of the swamp. I think we should go to sleep.
What could possibly go wrong? That's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer that. But I am curious about your answer.
I could miss a good night's sleep is what could go wrong.
You know what? That's fair. Well, we're here. Does anybody need greater restoration? None of you look petrified or particularly exhausted, but anybody's cursed?
Not that I'm aware of.
Fuck it. It's not like we're losing anything. I will use Performance of Creation to make 100 gold worth of diamond dust, and use that to cast Greater Restoration on Guy.
Okay. You cast Greater Restoration on Guy.
Alright, that's it. I'm going to sleep.
Okay. So you all go to sleep.
Okay. See what horrible thing happens when we wake up.
When morning comes and you guys wake up in your dome, you notice that overnight, it would appear large, thick vines have grown over the causeway near you and over your dome.
Now, where have we seen this before?
Off the
crap, these fucking vines.
off the south side of the causeway, you can see a large flowering plant with what appears to be like a carousel almost on it of these large bulbous clear sacs. Well, there's seven sacs. 6 of them are clear. One of which is glowing yellow, same color as that light you saw last night. And floating inside, you can see what appears to be a half-elf in armor. Just kind of floating. It looks to be unconscious inside of there.
I don't want to be some weird plant hostage.
Alright, come on. There's people to help.
No, we have to cut our way out of this mess first.
That's what we brought swords for, isn't it? Well, you brought swords, I brought an axe.
Lehman's tut ends, and you guys should roll initiative.
Shit.
But you have had a successful long rest, if I haven't been clear about that.
This is good.
It's not good that the villain is going first. Oh, no,
It'll
Guy
be
goes.
fine.
Well, all Guy's going to do is fly straight up in the air and leave the rest of us
Well-
down there for the van vine.
I can't because we're covered in vines. The dome was literally covered in vines. I have to cut us out first.
Oh, no.
That's fine. Your sword has
Then I'll
fire.
fly out for well, yes, but it also is just as likely to heal the monster, so I'm probably not going to do that.
All right, Guy, what do you do?
Okay. I am going to engage my fighting spirit, and I am going to begin slashing wildly at this plant, which is about to overtake us. with my completely mundane, non-magical Weed Whacker sword.
Okay.
This is the one poison damage, isn't it? Shit.
Yeah, I don't have reliable poison damage, and I'm not going to heal it doing it, so I'm just going to hit it this way.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Does a 24 hit?
Yes, it does.
I would like to make the plant my favorite enemy.
Okay. You make the weird plant hostage monster your favorite enemy.
Okay. That's the first hit.
All right, yeah, you carve apart some of these vines. Your sword cleaving through them like they are just vines.
Very good. And second hit.
Okay. Second it hits, and then 8 more. All right, cut through some more vines.
Okay. Then my Gloomstalker bonus attack.
Uh-huh. Also a hit.
10 damage.
Okay.
Then I action surge.
And do it again.
And second verse, same as the first.
Alrighty. Roll to hit. Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
And this is my bonus attack
Which is
again.
a crit.
This one deals an extra 2d8. Holy shit. Okay.
Alrighty. He is now bloodied looking, the sap dripping from several of its vines, several of the pods leaking.
Alright, and then I am going to fly my 50 feet up in the air. Since this is the first round, I get an extra 10 feet of movement.
Very nice. It is going to take an attack of opportunity when you do so.
As it does.
Does a 12 hit you?
No.
A vine misses. You fly 50 feet up.
Alright. I would like to point my sword at it threateningly. And that is it.
Okay. Goulash.
Alright. These plants are still on top of all of us?
He cut a good chunk of them apart that were on top of you so you could fly out. But you are surrounded.
Okay. I would like to rage and try to use my claws to establish a perimeter around us.
Okay.
By way of weed whacking.
Alright. Yep. The shielded lands takes to topiary. One hit.
Alright. The weed whacker gets stuck a little bit.
It gets clogged up. It's green wood, just it doesn't clear nicely through finger width blades.
No.
Anything else?
Yeah. The vines are gonna make a wisdom save for me.
Ooh.
They fail, and the vines are going to attack each other. I'm not exactly sure how they're broken up here, but
It's only one creature. Can it be made to attack itself?
it has to attack an ally within 5 feet of it.
There is no such being.
Okay. If I knew that, could I have chosen not to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, then I didn't. Then I didn't do that.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
Alrighty. This guy. Okay. The vines are going to start attacking. First, it's going to attack Goulash. Does a 19 hit Goulash?
Nope.
All right, then Arkellis.
Damn.
Does a 21 hit Arkellis?
21 is my armor class.
Don't you know shield?
I have it, but it's not worth it right now.
It smacks you for 10 bludgeoning damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Alright, maybe it was worth it. Hey!
Okay. Interesting. And then the third tentacle goes after Beta. Does a 21 hit Beta? Mister, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Does a
Is it my
21 hit
turn?
Beta?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright, the tentacle smacks you for 10 bludgeoning damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Is it magical?
No. But I do need a con save.
On save?
Con save.
Okay, dokie. Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Okay. It is then going to shake its pods at Guy. And Guy, I need a wisdom saving throw.
That is wrong. That should be an 8. I have a +6 to con, not a +2.
Okay.
I still failed, but you know.
Okay.
Okay. You are charmed and have a unresistible desire to climb inside one of the pods.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay.
Beta,
You never said what happened.
It is your turn.
Okay.
Nothing immediately happens to you.
Oh, okay. You know the main branch of this thing? The main thing
The
with the
center
little head
area?
on it?
Yeah, with the vial.
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
glowing pods.
Distance to that. What is the distance?
40 feet.
Okay, I needed to make you know what? I'm an action surge, so I need 2 deck saves.
Okay.
Those both fail, so it will take 24 points of radiant damage
Oh, nice.
as I sacred flame it twice, and it catches on fire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it catches on fire. 4 of the 7 pods have burst at this point. The mucus that was inside there catches fire as well from your radiance. It is looking really rough. But it is still alive.
Okay, I am done.
Okay. Arkellis?
You said 40 feet
Yes.
to the one with the half elf in it?
Yes.
Wonderful. I'm gonna run over there.
All right, you hop down the causeway to the ground beneath you and run over to him.
I'm going to... fuck it. I'm going to just try and shove my arm in and pull this guy out.
Okay, make an athletics check as you kind of push against this mucoid membrane.
Wow. Do I have anything I can throw at that? I do not.
Okay. Well, you manage to push your arms in there and grab hold of the half-elf by the ankles. And then you kind of feel yourself getting sucked up into the pod as well, and I need a strength saving throw from you.
Oh boy. Don't worry, I have a plan.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I think the plan probably involves being taken hostage by a weird alien plant monster.
I forgot I have to roll deception for that. Don't worry, I have a plan.
All right. So
Okay.
while you're kind of like stuck and you are effectively grappled by this thing, um, you have not yet been completely pulled into the pod, and your head is still free, so you are not suffocating either.
Hey,
I do have something for this, though. Quick and spell Dimension Door.
Aha.
I'm taking this guy with me, and I'm fucking out back to the party.
Okay. Yeah, you dimension door. With the guy back to you in the party. You can kind of see the pod kind of deflate a little when you land with the unconscious half elf, covered in mucus.
That's gross, but we have bigger problems. That is all I have for my turn.
All right, Guy.
okay.
I believe you have some instructions.
Yeah. So, how far is it to the nearest pod?
You flew up 50 feet, so that would put them about 55 feet from you.
Okay. Well, I mean, given that I can potentially move 120 feet, I do whatever I need to do to get to the pod and climb in.
All right. Yeah, so you guys see Guy fly rapidly over to the fullest looking pod and then just kind of shove himself inside of there.
And that's it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, you can make that wisdom save again.
Oh, good. I'm too quick for my own good.
You are too quick for your own good as you suddenly realize with horror that you are trapped inside of a mucus-filled pod and you can't breathe.
Okay. I would like everybody to note that I am silently mouthing, "What the fuck?" and face palming. That is all.
Okay. Goulash, it is your turn.
Cool. How far away are these pods, and do I...
40
Yeah.
feet.
Okay, and is that through, like, plant-based difficult terrain?
It is not difficult terrain. There is some like elevation changes, but nothing that would slow you down, really.
Oh, so it's not covered in vines all over the place.
Well, they are, but they're solid enough for you to run on that. They're not really difficult
okay.
terrain. In fact,
Not good.
the presence of this monster has actually made the terrain less hard to run through.
Oh, it's not
Because
like
it
the other
solidified the
vines.
muck.
Yeah. Alright. Wait, so somebody got sucked into a pod, and then they teleported out, and now Guy is inside one of the pods?
Yes, Guy is currently inside one of the 4 remaining pods. Sorry, 3
Okay.
remaining pods.
Then I will run over. I will begin holding my breath on this round. And I will attempt to cut Guy out.
Okay, well, roll to hit.
Alright.
I have exactly one explanation for what happened. Guy saw me running into one of these pods yelling, "I have a plan," and was so convinced that he decided to do the same.
Well, you are the bard.
I'm also the fucking idiot. Why do you listen to my plan?
I don't know. Something strange came over me.
3 hits. Roll damage.
.31 magical slashing.
All right, yeah. So you start ripping and tearing. You shred the 2 pods that are empty. The pod holding Guy, you just tear it apart. Guy comes flopping out, probably choking, coughing up while covered in mucus. The plant monster shudders under you before collapsing to the ground and going still. You barely keep your feet.
Cool. Are there any pods left?
There are no pods left, and in fact, the monster is dead. You are out of initiative.
Nice.
I would
stopped
like-
holding my breath.
Right.
I would
That is
like
awesome.
to cough and gasp, and while laying on the ground, I would like to pull my boots off and do my best to shake all of the muck out of them.
Yeah, big thick chunks of it just coming out.
I'm gonna try and wake this guy up.
How do you do so?
Slap him across the face a couple times. Try a healing word if that doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, you slap him across the face a couple of times.
I think it's time for this gif again.
Yeah. And yeah, the half elf comes gasping awake.
Wow, you guys really, really are terrible. How bad is everybody hurt? Who's all hurt? Anybody?
I'm fine.
Okay,
Only
good.
my pride.
I've been mildly
Well, you
inconvenienced.
You tried to climb into a pod. There's nothing. There's nothing we can help. I can't. I don't teach psychology. I just heal your wounds. I can't heal your brain.
Apparently, I was very convincing when I said I had a plan doing that. I shouldn't have been.
Apparently,
Oh, you should know better
yeah.
by
In
now.
my
I don't have a plan.
gloves. It's in my gloves.
Oh, that's gross. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll just cast
You make a
prestidigitation.
fist and it just comes out between all the links of your armor.
I'll clean up guy with prestidigitation. It's probably gonna take a while.
It takes a couple of castings, but you do get it all.
I hate this place.
Yeah, this forest deserves to be burned down. So, new friend?
Well, Soup, what does your character say for himself?
I do not know.
I'll take that as a yes. New friend.
Well, you can either go with us, or you can wander aimlessly through this deadly swamp by yourself.
Well, if I've had enough aimlessly wandering in real life, so I think I will join you.
Perfect. Aimlessly wandering as a group. Onwards to the west.
To the west.
Does
Wait.
anyone need...
That's aimed
What?
wandering.
Is it? I didn't know we had a plan.
Well, we're
No,
going
it's not.
west.
We don't know why we're going there, so it's still aimless.
No, I know why we're going there. We're gonna set this fucking forest on fire. Fuck this place.
Okay, now it's
Oh, I enjoy fire.
All right.
I told you, new friend. This guy's great. Alright, west, fire, fuck this forest. It's a plan. Does anyone need, some magic fixing before we get going? Or was I really just that convincing guy?
Nope, everything's fine now.
Alright,
Let's just go.
back under the causeway, back to the west. Tally-ho.
All right, yeah, you guys start continuing your march westward along this causeway.
Hey.
The air buzzing with mosquitoes, your breath kind of moistening in the very air itself. You can almost drink your way through it. A persistent haze just kind of hanging over this entire swamp. As you keep walking, you notice about 500 feet ahead of you the fourth gatehouse. Unlike the others, this one seems to be largely intact. Both towers to the north and south are in good condition, as is the walkway that connects between them, like the gatehouse. Unlike the other two gatehouses you've seen, two large statues in the likeness of giant frogs are crouching on their haunches to either side of the causeway's approach to the gates.
When you say crouching, is that crouching by frog standards or just standing?
They are crouching by frog standards, but they are like giant statues that their heads are actually over the bridge level.
Huh, that's weird.
Man, I know some people who would have loved to see this.
Are there any deities or fiends that this might be a religious thing to? Or statues
Make a religion check.
Yeah, actually, do these look like frogs or do they look like grung?
They're grung-like.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And Arkellis, they don't match any god's iconography that you're aware of.
Alright, that's weird, but
Hmm.
probably not demons.
Okay.
Let's go. Tally-ho.
Yeah, this seems fine.
Okay. So you guys walk up past the causeway passing between the two frogs.
I'll just real quick divine sense as we pass to see if there's anything fucky with them.
Okay, you do divine sense. Don't detect anything fucky with them. As they start blasting lasers out of their eyes, coating everyone in that area. And I need everyone there to make dexterity saving throws.
All right.
Coding
Okay.
everyone?
As laser beams shoot out of these frogs' eyes and just start sweeping the causeway.
Laser beams from what?
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, guys, there's nothing fucky with them.
Yeah, the frogs are firing their lasers, and Sleuth says it's fine.
Right, so Soup, this is a saving throw. So on the first page of your sheet, you'll see a box labeled saving throws. You need to roll a d20 plus the dexterity
Shit.
saving throw modifier.
Beta has failed a dex save. She is not very dexterous. I built her for late.
So I
game,
roll a
and she
dice plus the thing that says.
Yes.
Correct.
I have gotten a 4.
You
I mean,
roll it
roll
in the
20
D&D
plus
chat.
4.
What?
You roll it in the D&D chat.
Oh, wait, I need to get access to that.
The D&D text chat. I thought everyone had access to that. Who doesn't have access to that?
I mean,
I do not.
I did not
Oh,
know
yeah,
that was
Hayes
a
changed
shield.
that here. Give me a second.
What?
You
Why
now
would you
have
do
a
that?
D&D roll.
Yeah, he has a D&D. Did someone just give it to him?
Yeah.
Somebody did.
I did. Just
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Soup. I didn't know that people didn't have access to that.
Yeah, apparently you need the D&D roll to see the D&D chat, but the D&D dice bot can see other channels.
What? Okay.
Okay, and then
makes
you
no
add the
sense.
number next to your dex save.
Which is a 4, he said, so it's a 4, 4, 4 plus 4.
Uh,
He failed.
he would be at a +2.
Yeah, so it's 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Arkellis. Why did Arkellis roll twice?
One was the religion check.
Ah, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so Arkellis, Beta, and Soup failed.
Yay.
And take 15 radiant damage.
Ooh.
Goulash and Guy take half.
all right.
That's icky. Why do the frogs have lasers?
So is it goo?
No, it's lasers.
15
Okay.
points of laser damage?
He said
what
colored,
is he
so I'm
classified
imagining-
on?
Radiant.
White goo lasers.
Radiant. So they fired guiding bolts at us. Wow.
Probably closer to radiant flame, but or divine flame. Which one? I don't know. Probably radiant.
Laser frogs, man.
Looks like
The
Sacred Flame with a buff.
They're turning the laser frogs gay.
And as you guys kind of scramble to the other side, you notice that there's that section of the causeway is a little more stained than others.
So it is goo.
It is not
All
good.
right.
Oh.
And someone's probably been turned to goo in there.
Well, somebody's gonna be turned to goo once we get there. Are the frogs still doing their thing? Should we run?
Well, you walked through it, got shot, and are on the other side.
Oh, okay. It's just a one and done.
Yeah, it's just a straight up simple trap.
Uh,
Since none of you have a passive perception worth beans.
My passive perception is 21.
Okay, no magical sense.
That's fair.
Ah, so it is goo from Rainbow Six Siege. I pull all of the needles out of myself.
I mean, I
I
saw
only
the
pulled the
frogs.
needle out of my left ankle.
I was
Yeah.
just disarmed by the fact that they reminded me of friendly grow.
Yep, with lasers out of their eyes
I'm too trusting.
and lightning out
Frogs
their
with
ass.
freaking
I will-
laser beams
I will-
attached to their eyeballs.
I will never trust again. Let's proceed.
So can we go down there and kill the Wallaces, please?
Someone got it.
The Wallaces?
When you said lightning from your ass, I knew that was
No.
the thing from Braveheart, William Wallace. So we
Yeah.
go down there and kill the Wallaces.
Yeah.
I thought there was more than one.
To the towers.
Well, the towers are right in front of you.
Should we knock or just let ourselves in? I'm gonna let myself in. Let's see if the door will just open quietly.
Do you go to the north or the south tower?
You mean north?
Okay. Okay, so you open the door. And inside, you see a humanoid figure standing with a tattered black cloak over him, holding a rod with these long, almost flipper-like fingers. And you can see looking at the fingers that they got, like they're almost so gaunt you can see the individual finger bones in them. And they have like twice as many as you would normally expect a human to have.
Oh, good.
You said he's holding a wand?
A rod.
A rod.
Huh.
You hear a voice in your mind, Arkellis, like a whisper. Why have you come?
There was a walkway heading here, and I wanted to see where it went.
Why here?
I don't know. I didn't build it. Where is here?
Yeah.
If you are not the enemy, direct me to him.
It's west, I think. That's where all this fucky stuff is coming from.
Wait, do we know if it's still west? I thought that plant was the thing we came here for.
Now we're still on the wasting way.
Oh. Oh, was it supposed to be after the Wasting Way?
Yeah, we got to follow it into the mountains.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, if you want to talk to the party, they're right out here. I'm not really the navigator. I'm the people person. They'll be able to tell you where
Are
we're going better.
you
But
a people?
I am a person. Yes, I'm not a people.
Show me. And he starts walking towards you.
I'll look over to guide. Hey, who's our navigator? Do we have one?
The flying man with the thing.
Oh, am I our navigator?
Guy, I
Yeah.
made another
mean,
friend looking for
You
direction.
have the range. You can fly up and look around. I mean, that makes you pretty good at navigation.
Okay, what about your friend? Hi, by the way.
He's looking for the enemy, which
No, well,
I
that's a
assume is.
bold question. There's enemies everywhere.
I've had a lot of enemies. Can you be more specific?
We were damaged. Specific is where is the enemy?
Damaged. Is he like cyborg?
I mean, you can see his hands gripping this rod in front of him. You can see these, like organic bones. But you know how you have like one finger bone between joints? He has each finger he has is about a half dozen joints.
Ooh.
It's unusual. Well,
That is very unusual.
Can I take the rod?
don't take his rod.
You can try if you're sure.
I want to
wouldn't-
try.
I wouldn't do that.
If the DM asks, "Are you sure you want to do that?" the answer is no.
Well, the answer isn't necessarily no, but you should know it's a trap.
I shall delay my plans to take the rod.
Are you the enemy?
Is that directed at me?
The party was directed at the party.
Oh, we're trying to find them. They're off in the mountains somewhere.
Show me.
Okay, I guess we're gonna get walking then.
Do I know roughly what direction it is? Like,
It's
Yeah,
to the
it's
west.
okay, I'll point to the west as best I can.
It's down the road this way.
Would I know of any races or types of constructs or anything that would have hands like this guy does?
You would not.
If you want to
Alright,
fight the enemy, get your things. It's a long walk.
We have become scattered.
Okay, that's nice. I think let's go then.
And you notice as you mentioned, you kind of like gesture towards the towers, get your things. And he says that there's like a ripple in the air, and the tower seems to almost bend over as if being flexed. And he reaches out and kind of sticks his thin hand through one of the arrow slits and starts pulling out what looks to be a cloak through it.
Okay. Well, now that very normal thing is out of the way, let's go.
When he finishes pulling out the cloak, the wavering in the air kind of dissipates, and the tower is once again standing completely vertical.
Yeah, it's a normal Tuesday.
Yep, that's fine. This is fine.
Now, when you say it bends over as if it flexed, does it look like the tower moving, or does it look like the?
I think it's some
The
MC
air
Escher shit.
Yeah,
It looks so. From medieval times, it's how they would describe it. How we would describe it is, it looks like he was manipulating space-time.
yeah, that's kind of what that was getting at.
Not have to walk up some stairs. So he just reached through an arrow slit and pulled out a cloak.
Yeah,
I respect it.
it's a trick of the light.
I feel like these guys are having a bad time.
Yeah, and he's kind of like sets this gray, shawly-looking, tattered cloak over his form. And he kind of looks to be shivering, almost.
Do you want something a little bit warmer?
I don't think he's cold. I think he's unstable.
Dude,
Well,
I've been mentally unstable for like 3
This-
years.
this
You don't
gentleman-
No,
shit
I mean
on
like
unstable.
structurally unstable. Like his
this
body
gentleman
is
is
not.
clearly different, so I feel like we're not qualified to tell him what he needs or get
That's
him
why
what
I'm
he needs.
asking.
Let's see if we can get him somewhere where he can take care of himself. I feel like he's pretty weird, so the direction towards the weird shit will probably help.
All right, to the west we go.
Okay. You guys just walk through the middle doors. He just seems to be following with you.
Can I ask him what the rod does?
What that rat do?
The rod is what we were, and will become what we are.
That does not help, thank you.
Ooh, vague and ominous. I like it.
I can show you.
Oh, yes, please.
Just him, though.
Yeah, and he just wraps you over the head with the rod.
Unpleasant.
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Glad it's not me. Wisdom is one of Beta's worst suits. Worst.
That would be a +2.
So 18?
Okay. So you are teleported
Oh, what?
and are exchange positions with him. You are now wearing the cloak.
Oh, cool.
You feel a penetrating cold kind of settle into you as his cloak lays on you.
What's the point of the cloak if it doesn't make you warm?
It's ominous and foreboding,
Fair.
and it conceals several knives, if you so wish.
Can I take a knife?
You have to supply the knives.
There are no knives.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He said it
So-
conceals knives, not that it actually has knives in it currently.
Knives not included.
Some assembly required.
And the long-fingered figure kind of turns and says, "Do you see?"
Oh gosh.
Do you
What do we-
see?
What are we looking for?
He stops walking. He's just looking at Soup. Soup, do you respond at all to him?
Wait, I was AFK for like a minute. What happened? Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
This guy's asking, do you see?
Yeah. So you put the cloak on, and he's just looking at you, just staring. Do you see?
I see you.
And you see him form an orb in his hand of energy and throw it at you.
Does it hurt?
This dude's playing Pokemon.
Does a 28 hit your armor class?
Oh. Wait, what'd you say? It wasn't clear.
Does a 28 meet or exceed your armor class? First page, top middle.
I believe it would. It's a fucking 28.
No, it does not.
What?
I would check that again.
Armor-
I would look at
Armor
that.
class.
Yes, I see it. It says 17.
Yes, when I asked if it meet or exceeded it, a 28 does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, a 28 beats everybody's armor
So it
class at
hits
the
you.
table.
And deals 23 psychic damage. And you guys
Oh,
should roll initiative.
Oh, boy.
Ouch. So
What the hell?
I think I pissed this guy off.
I think he stole your body, is what he did.
Wait. I thought we switched places.
You did.
Then why do you say if I was in?
Oh, I guess he didn't steal your body, but I think he,
My God, did he steal
He's
your
playing
shoes?
Pokemon.
Is he wearing my shoes?
He's
He's
not
playing
wearing your
Pokemon.
shoes. At least you're still wearing your shoes. Maybe he made a copy of your shoes, but you're still wearing yours.
Wait, did he clone himself to look like?
No, he didn't
I don't
change.
think so.
They just swapped position.
Okay.
Under, you have 2 rolls. that-
Yeah.
Intentional.
Uh-huh. Not that it changes anything, because whenever we have multiple DM rolls, they always seem to end up clumped together anyway.
Yeah, that seems like
Yeah.
such as this.
Alright,
Right.
Goulash, well, this guy just attacked your party member. The one you just rescued from the pod thing.
Not yet. Soup, in the middle of your page, there is a
Oh, yeah,
number
sorry.
where it says initiative. You should roll a d20 and add that.
Yeah, initiative is the start of combat.
Yep.
And the turn order is determined by the initiative. Every character has a slightly different initiative.
All right.
You have a good initiative.
Very nice. All right, well, I still go first. And it just attacked our new friend.
Yep.
My newer friend just attacked my new friend. He has seniority.
I'm not sure if he's a friend.
Yeah, this guy's not a friend anymore. He threw a Pokeball at us and he doesn't want to set the forest on fire. He's just a dick.
All right. So I can still see him, and he doesn't have his cloak on anymore.
He's not wearing that gray cloak. No, that gray cloak is draped on Soup.
What's he wearing now? Just like
So if we
rags?
defeat,
Just the same, like, tattered black robes you saw before.
Oh, okay.
defeat this guy, keep the cloak.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'll rage and pounce at him and try to rip him to shreds.
It's rule number 1 of fighting other people. If we kill them, we get their stuff.
Okay. Alright, before you... Okay. Roll the first hit first.
Oh, okay. Well, I rolled a 5.
Sorry, I meant roll
Roll the
damage for the
damage.
25 first. You have
Yes,
2 hits
yes.
there. Roll the damage for the 25 first.
Oh, okay.
All right.
slashing.
So, yeah, you go in there, looks like you're going to hit him, and at the last moment he exchanges places again with Soup, and you deal 13 slashing damage to Soup.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Ouch.
But
Oh, well-
he's only, like, moved, like, 5 feet over. You could easily just direct your third attack to him if you wanted to.
Okay. Assuming he can't teleport again.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, do you try?
Yeah, I try if I still hit him.
Okay, yeah, a 17 would also hit. And you do hit him.
Nice.
Oh, I'm not being hit again. Wait, so I lost the cloak?
No, you're still wearing the cloak.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you also took 13 slashing damage.
Yeah,
so
thank
mark
you.
that off your HP.
Alright, yeah, you tear a little bit out of him. Anything else?
You know what? Yeah, actually. I need Soup to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Also, Soup, you should fail this. I would encourage you to fail this.
There is not much I can do.
You
I think-
can just choose to fail.
Yeah, you can just choose to fail.
Yeah, just choose to fail. Don't roll. Say I fail.
Okay, I fail.
Good.
Right? Make an attack against him.
So you have several weapons listed on your sheet on the first page. Towards the bottom.
His sheet was a little bit fucked up. It's the second screenshot in the top right. I would suggest the greatsword.
Okay. So I use that?
Okay. Yeah. So to make an attack, you roll a d20 plus the to-hit modifier. And if that hits their armor class, then you can roll the damage.
Is that right?
That is
Yeah.
correct. That is also a hit. So now you can roll the damage roll, which is the other part of the greatsword.
I messed that up.
Yes, you did. It's okay. Just try again.
Oh, goodness.
You hack at him. Your weapon does not appear to be particularly effective. It does do some damage, but not the full amount.
I was recommended it.
Yes, but this guy is apparently resistant to mundane damage. Unless you're dealing magic damage at your level.
He is not a monk. He is just a fighter.
Oh, yeah, no. Alright. Well, that's it for my turn.
Okay. Soup, it is now your character's turn. What would you like him to do?
Can I shoot him with the longbow?
You could, but you are currently in melee, and trying to use a longbow in melee will result in disadvantage.
You also have your sword out right now. I'd recommend hitting him with that.
That is a great idea. However, I'll use a hand axe, because why not?
Okay.
Hand axes, being smaller weapons, do give you the option for an offhand shield, but are less damaging when you do hit.
I don't think... Do I have a shield?
You do. I spent the money for it, but I forgot to actually put it in your inventory. It should be there.
Oh, okay, so I will not use a shield. And I will just use the hand axe.
Okay. Well, roll to hit. Unfortunately,
You do get,
go ahead.
at your level, you get 3 attacks every time you attack with normal weapons like this.
So I roll 2 more times?
Yes.
Yes.
A 10 does not hit.
Oof.
Neither does that. Or that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Uh,
Try rolling better.
As a fighter, you have an ability called Action Surge, where you use an action to use those 3 attacks. You can get another action this turn to make another 3 attacks. You only get a few of them between rests,
What?
but you can make more attacks.
So roll again, or...
You have an ability called Action Surge, which allows you to make another action during your turn. Your first action was those 3 attacks. Normally you only get 1 action. Fighters have that special ability for Action Surge to give them a second one, but they can only do so once between short rests.
Okay, I use that.
Okay, so you make 3 more attacks.
Keep rolling high numbers like that one.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a
Not like
miss.
that.
And that's
Oh
a miss.
my. You rolled 3 out of 6 attacks were nat ones.
Skill issue.
But you did get 1 hit with that 26, so go ahead and roll damage for that.
Guys hate him.
Oh, wow.
Another one!
Okay.
Is there like a learning curve to rolling dice?
No, it's just random. You're just unlucky, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
that
bell
was
curve to rolling dice.
That was a joke.
Just pick numbers that aren't 1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else from you, Soup?
I don't think so.
Okay. Arkellis?
I'm going to I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself, and I'm going to wrestle this guy.
Okay.
Alright, grapple.
Well, you grab him.
Alright. I don't have another attack to take him to the ground, but I'm going to just pull him out of melee with Beta if he isn't melee with her.
Yeah, you can just kind of shove him back along the causeway, out of melee with
Yes.
everybody.
And I will just end the turn there.
All right.
See what happens.
Beta, your turn.
I am going to. Why are we attacking this guy again? Because he attacked
He
Soap?
attacked us.
Because he shot me in the face.
Okay. But did you die?
I am.
If anyone's throwing Pokeballs at Soup, it's going to be me.
All
What?
right, fine. I guess I will blast this guy.
Okay, rolled it. One hit.
I mean, the fuck?
He stole all of the high rolls and ran.
Just pick bigger numbers, lol.
I mean, what the fuck here? How bad is Soap hurt?
Skill issue.
Huh?
Soap is mildly wounded by the damage he's taken so far.
Okay. So nobody's been hurt really bad yet?
Well, there has been
Fine.
one major injury.
Who is in melee with the monster? Anybody or nobody?
Me.
Me, I think.
I pushed him out of melee with everyone else, so our
Alright, then I am
range
going to
people.
cast Sanctuary on Achilles
Okay.
as a bonus action, and then I am done.
All right, Guy.
Okay. I didn't particularly want to pick a fight with the reality warping freakazoid, but fine. That's acceptable. I am going to go ahead and prepare to attack him multiple times. I'll go ahead and pop Fighting Spirit.
That's a hit.
Okay. Using my weird weapon. Cold.
Just cold.
He might not like that. This guy could be my new favorite foe. How lucky. 14 damage.
Okay, yeah, you hit him with your sword. He does not appear to be particularly affected by that.
Good to know. I hit him again.
Indeed. You succeed.
He is blind.
All right, he is blind.
I hit him
Hit.
again. This is my Gloomstalker attack.
Yep.
Oh, before I roll damage, let me remember this. If I blind him again, that's bad. 4? I don't know what 4 does.
4 is poison.
Okay, he takes 17 poison damage.
Yes, he does. Alright, yeah, so he takes it. Anything else?
That's it.
Alrighty. His turn. He's blind. It's okay. He doesn't need eyes to see.
There it is.
And he warps space in a 60-foot sphere all around him. Everything looks bigger, or smaller, or just curvy, or it should be straight. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Ah, my favorite.
I'll just pick bigger numbers, guys.
I'm gonna die, aren't I?
Nah.
I mean, fuck. You all failed.
What?
You all failed.
Okay.
And take 39 psychic damage.
This is fine.
Oof.
And then that shawl that Soup is wearing starts moving on its own.
With me in it or without me in it?
With you in it. You're wearing it.
I am currently moving.
You're wearing it like a cloak, so it's clothing. It's moving with you. Or it was.
Oh, so I'm not wearing it, or
You are wearing it. That's what I was saying.
So
You were-
swapping about.
Are you wearing it?
It
Or
started
is it
moving.
wearing
Right,
you?
so you were wearing it, and then it started moving on its own, and immediately tries to smother you around your face. You are now blinded, grappled, and restrained, and you cannot breathe.
That sounds like an issue.
It is an issue for you. All right, Goulash.
Alright. Now that the shawl is on the other guy, I'm gonna go after the thin man and try to rip into him.
Okay. Go ahead and
Is that 3 hits?
that is 3 hits.
Should I roll one at a time?
You should roll the damage for the first one first.
Oof.
Wait, nope. Never mind. He's blind and can't see. Therefore, just roll
he
all
can't-
your damage.
Yay.
Oh, he can't see.
He can't see.
Should I have rolled an advantage
You
then?
should have rolled an advantage. Sorry, I
Okay,
forgot about
you said
the
he
blindness.
didn't need eyes to see, so I wasn't sure.
I was joking, but I
Yeah.
was making a reference because he's doing weird, spooky shit.
Alright, well, I didn't crit, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you can just roll all the damage because he does need eyes to exchange places with people.
Cool. Alright, 31 magical slashing.
Alrighty,
Does this appear to be as effective as I would expect it to be?
it is.
Cool. Now I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine by. Actually, how far away is he from Soup and the shawl?
10 feet.
Yeah, then I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine by having him make a wisdom save.
Okay,
Wait, what?
you're having me make a wisdom save.
Yes. Yeah, he succeeds. I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea.
It was an idea. So
I mean,
that's
now we know that he's good at that.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, nothing happens. He passes. That's it.
Okay. So, Soup, it is your turn. You are currently grappled, restrained, blinded, and suffocating.
Okay, so
that cloak you were wearing has come alive and is trying to strangle you.
This is just like edgy Doctor Strange or something. So, can I stab the cloak?
You can try, yeah.
Okay, I will use a greatsword for that. Wait, no.
You're
not-
going.
a hand axe for that.
Oh, it's just it's really amusing. It's wrapped around your face and you're attacking it with an axe. It's fine,
It's a hand
but
axe.
it's funny.
It is a funny image. Like, oh shit, it's right around my face. He takes an axe, starts whacking at his face with it.
What am I-
Baby's first strangulation.
What am I supposed to do then?
So, besides making attacks, you can also use an attack to make a grapple type action.
So
Where
I
you would
grab
basically, you try to grab it and pull it off your face. This would be a strength athletics check, so it would be from your skills. A d20 plus your athletics modifier.
Arkellis, don't you have a thing that incapacitates people?
I do on an intelligence save, which I'm planning on doing.
Yep.
I will still go with attacking the cloak.
Okay, roll to hit.
Hey, Cece.
Hi.
Hello.
Who's winning?
Yes.
Don't know why I'm using a greatsword when I'm being strangled to death.
So
but
you have to roll to hit first. So you need a d20 plus the 2-hit modifier.
I have no idea what I am doing. Sorry.
It's okay. You'll learn eventually. We are
That's
throwing you in the deep end and attempting to drown you with eldritch entities. That will hit. So and so you whack the cloth with your greatsword, dealing 12 damage. Everyone can kind of see his sword was not very effective at it, but it did make some small cut to it. Unfortunately, it is not enough to actually cut it open. So you are still grapple blinded and suffocating.
Would the small holes mean I'm not suffocating?
No. You did not make that big of a hole in it.
That
You
is
barely
a failure.
damaged it.
That is a failure.
Do you do anything else on your turn?
I don't know if I can.
So you normally get 3 attacks. You can substitute grapples for your any attack, basically.
Okay, so that was
If
one
your
attack.
strength is high enough, you can try to tear that
That
damn thing off of you.
that is one attack that you used. You could use one of them to try and grapple the shroud and pull it off of you.
Okay, I will try to do that, because apparently stabbing it does not work.
All right. So as I said, that is a d20 plus your athletics skill modifier from your skills. And he has to try to resist. So you got to beat his skill, which is 13. All right. Yeah, so you kind of rip up there, grab it, yank it off your face. You are able to breathe and can see again.
That is rather convenient.
You still have one more attack.
Oh yes, now I will stab it again.
All right. Roll to hit. That will hit. Roll damage.
Oh.
All right. Well, you can see that your sword isn't very effective, but it is making slow progress.
That was a hand axe.
Oh, okay. Hand axe is also not that effective. Do you do anything else in your turn?
No.
All right, Arkellis.
I will toss my warhammer to Soup. It is a magic weapon, and hopefully it'll do better than the blades. And it doesn't have a somatic component, but I want to just give it one for this one casting and just smack this dude in the forehead with my face. And I'm going to cast telepathic psychic glance.
Okay.
That is an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Strangely enough, that does succeed. And I think that means this does have.
It has no other effect, I think.
Saving throw, failed save. Successful save, half much, not incapacitated. So it takes half of 27, would be 13.
Yep. But it appears to have no effect on him.
That is unfortunate. Alright. Then I don't really have anything.
Alright.
That's my turn.
Okay. Beta?
Well, is the guy still? You know what? I don't care if the guy is still alive. I am going to heal myself because I am almost dead. So, yes, that is what I am doing. Anybody else need heals while I'm at it?
I could use some.
I kind of figured yeah. I kind of figured Soup could. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast a cure healing spell on myself. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm really badly hurt. I'm down to like, yeah, we don't need to know how bad I am. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it healing? No. What's it? Yeah, I'm casting Cure Wounds on myself for. I'm healing myself for 24, and then I am casting Healing Light on Soap for. How bad are you hurt? Really bad or just a little bad?
To be honest, I kind of lost track of the frog attack, but not counting the frog attack, I think it's at 62.
Okay, well, there you go. I give you 16. That is a low number for 5d6. Fuck.
Yeah, how much does the frog attack hurt me again? I forgot.
I've already cleared that off of my sheet.
It was 34.
Okay, we'll go with 34.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember I took half.
Anything else from me, Beta?
No, that'll be.
Alright, Guy?
Okay. I will attack the guy again.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, though. The other guy.
Right, I figured you weren't stabbing yourself. He hasn't
And
made you guys all that crazy yet.
I'll use my fighting spirit again.
Miss.
Bummer.
That one hits.
I blind him again.
He's blind.
Okay. Bonus action, deck him in the schnoz.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I used my bonus action for fighting spirit. I'm done.
All right.
He's blind though.
He is blind. His turn. Oh, he doesn't get to warp space again. Well, he does not like the fact that you keep blinding him, so he's going to try and whack you with his rod.
Kinky. All right.
Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Alrighty, he tries again. How about an 18?
An 18 hits me.
Okay.
Having this Sentinel.
Hold on.
Yeah,
So
put
he
it
hits you for 24, a mixture of bludgeoning and psychic damage.
Okay.
Right. And then you said Sentinel?
Yeah.
Well, make your attacks. He is blind. So you have advantage.
But
That hits.
I'll throw a first level smite at this. Uh, 5 bludgeoning, 7 radiant. And I'm just punching him.
Okay. Your punch doesn't seem particularly effective, but the radiant is.
Yeah, I figured.
Alrighty. The Shroud is going to attempt to attack Soup.
Oh. Not again.
Don't sound too excited, Soup.
I'm very tired of Shrouds attacking me.
Yep. Well, it whacks you for 10 bludgeoning damage and wraps around your face again.
Okay, so I was going to do something, but that just ruined my plan, so I will attempt to grab it again.
Well, you can do that on your turn. Goulash, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna actually. How does the bony finger guy look?
Injured but not yet bloodied.
I'm going to try to fix that.
I'm sure you are.
He's still blind.
Yes, he is. Because someone keeps stabbing him with a magical prismatic blade.
I love it.
Well, if he didn't look directly into it.
Well, how do you think he ended up the way he is?
2 hits.
2 hits.
Yeah, never stare directly into the magic item.
All right. 19 magical slashing.
Alright, that bloodies him.
Cool. Is he within 5 feet of Soup in the Shroud?
No.
Okay, then I do nothing. That's it.
Okay. Soup, now it is your turn.
I guess I'll try to get it off me.
Alright, yeah, so you can attempt your grapple against, make your athletics check. You must beat a 19.
Actually got a decent chance of that.
Do it.
You yank it off your face.
Okay, so I can talk now, right?
Yes.
Can I talk to the guy?
Absolutely. What do you say?
Can you go away? You're being very rude to my friends.
He said, can't you go away?
Awfully polite for someone who just tried to... I don't know what he was trying to do. He threw a Pokeball at you. I think he was trying to eat your soul.
The
I
good
think-
news
I
is
think
he's
it was
gonna
because
go away soon.
I think it was because I pissed him off when I said something. So I think being nice to him is a very good option.
He simply responds as, I cannot.
Okay. So the shroud is still trying to attack me, right?
Yes.
Is there any way I can stop that?
You can beat it to death, I suppose.
There
A
is
bold strategy.
You were given a warhammer that might be more effective than either of your weapons right now.
Okay, how do I use that?
Same as your hand axe, it just does different damage. It also has a +1, so instead of a +8, it will be a +9.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage for the magic warhammer.
So it is a versatile weapon. You can use it
He's
one-handed
using it in
or
one hand.
two-handed.
He's got the shroud in the other.
Alright, so it does 1d8 +5.
Yeah.
That's 1d8 plus 5?
Yes. That is 13 magical bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, and being magical, it does in fact deal full damage to him.
Wait, so it's 3 tries, so I can attack him one more time?
You can do it one more time. You need to roll to hit first. Alright, you hit him, and hit him for 12.
That is a crit, actually.
Oh,
He's a champion.
So roll another d8. When you critical hit, you roll double the number of dice. So it would have been 2d8 plus 5 since you already rolled one of them. Just roll the other.
Wait, so I just roll a d8?
Yes.
Yes.
Normally, when you critical hit, you roll double the number of dice. So it normally would have been 2d8 plus 5. Since you already rolled one of the d8s, you're just rolling the other one.
So that's another 19.
Indeed. Yep. Yeah, and that looks like it took all of that and is a little damaged. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think I can, so no.
Okay, Arkellis.
This guy didn't seem to be too happy about magic being thrown at him, but he also doesn't care about most of my damage. So, the next best thing. I'm going to cast blindness on him. It is a Constitution save.
Okay.
"13 fails.
So are you blinding or deafening him?
I am blinding him.
All right.
That seems to piss him off more than anything else I have. All the rest of my damage is either smites or psychic. For bonus action, I'm going to give Guy a bardic inspiration, and that's going to be it for me.
All right. Beta. Beta, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Is the thing still alive?
Yeah. That hits.
Beta's gonna look at this thing and just go, "Be gone!" and just blast it.
You know you have advantage because it's blind, right?
No, I didn't. Meh.
Well, you didn't crit. All right. Anything else, Beta? Oh wait, are you rolling damage for that?
Yeah, I was rolling my damage. 19? Fuck! 19 points of fucking radiant damage as she guiding bolts his ass.
All right, yeah. So he's now glowing and blind
And grappled. He's
and
really not
grappled.
having a great day, is he?
He hasn't been having a many great days. Anything else from you, Beta?
No, Beta is wait, no. If I cast, I can't cast that. I cast a level spell, so yeah, I'm done. I can't cast anything. I'm done.
All right, Guy.
Okay. I am going to hit him with my laser sword.
All right, your first attack has advantage from guiding bolt.
He's still blind from some other thing, right?
Oh yeah, and he's blind from the blind spell, so you just have advantage all around.
Yay!
That hits.
Fire damage.
Fire damage. Interesting.
PK fire.
Neutral against this.
He takes 8 damage.
Indeed. Yeah, you burn him for 8. He takes all of it.
Neat.
Anything else?
Yes. I don't need to, but I'll make this a lunging attack anyway, just because I can.
That also hits.
Three. I don't remember which that is.
That is lightning.
Okay. Then he takes 12 lightning damage.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna deck him in the schnoz.
Alright. That hits him.
Alright. 8 completely mundane, getting punched in the face damage.
Yep. Doesn't seem to be all that effective. You know, when your fist kind of hit, like when you just kind of punch him to snodge, your fist just kind of goes in. You feel resistance, but it's like punching meringue. It just kind of goes in.
Why would you punch a sugar cookie?
Why wouldn't you?
It's like poking through meringue.
Everything I've fought for days has been so weird and gross.
That's why we're burning this forest
That's
down.
it.
Okay. His turn. Well, he is... Apparently he gets to use it with 2 hands, and I completely missed that. So he's going to grab his rod with 2 hands. He's going to try to smack, let's first say Guy.
Oof. Yes.
Okay, so he hits you for 30 points of bludgeoning and psychic damage.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I need a con save from you.
Okay, one moment. That was a knockout.
Okay. I still need the con save.
Okay, I don't remember. It's like a 6, I think. It is.
You
9.
also have a bardic inspiration.
Okay, what's the die for that?
1d8.
Okay. Well, 16 total.
Okay. If you happen to get up before next turn, you are incapacitated until the end of its next turn.
Noted.
You
Okay.
also have numbers 12 temporary HP.
That does not prevent me from being KO'd.
No.
It will then use its second attack to smack Arkellis.
Good luck.
Does a 21 hit you?
Not through Shield of Faith.
Okay. He will then end his turn. He is still blind. The shroud is going to attempt to reattach itself to Soup's face.
Oh boy, this is seeming familiar.
Does a 16 hit your armor class?
No, it's 17.
Alright, it misses and is unable to reattach itself to you. Goulash, it is your turn.
Alright, so I'm seeing the bony finger man who is blinded and also glowing and like restrained or something.
He's grappled, he's no longer glowing.
But he's still blind.
He's still blind, and he just cleaned Guy's clock with his rod.
Hey, I don't like that.
Yeah, clocks need to be dirty.
Unlike boots.
3 hits.
$30 magical slashing.
Okay. Well, he's looking pretty damn rough right now.
Well, you know what they say, a broken clock dies twice a day. Alright, that's it.
Alright, Soup.
Okay, so I am holding the cloak in one hand, correct?
Correct.
How far away is the skeleton dude?
He is 15 feet from you.
Okay, I will try to throw the hand axe at him.
Okay. Roll to hit, you have advantage, which means you roll twice and keep the higher number. The shorthand for that is 2d20 KH1 for keep higher 1.
2d20 what?
KH Kilo Hotel 1. Plus your normal to hit modifier. That is how you roll advantage.
I did not understand that.
You can actually look at the previous rolls. There should be.
So when you have advantage from certain things like the enemy being blinded, you get to roll that to hit dice twice and take the higher number. The shorthand for that in the formula for the dice bot is 2d20 KH1. It means roll 2 d20s and keep only the higher one. Okay. It is KH, not HK. And you have to remember to add the plus 8, I think it is.
Yeah. So it would be 22 off of that roll.
Is that correct?
That is the
No, so-
correct way to do that, and that is
Okay.
also a hit. So
Okay.
roll damage for your hand axe as you throw it out. Alright, well, it does some damage, it just doesn't seem particularly effective.
Okay, so I get 2 more, right?
You have 2 more attacks, yes.
Am I still holding that magical hammer?
You would have had to put it down to pull out the hand axe, unless you were dropping the shroud.
Oh, can I pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay, I will throw it at the magic man.
Okay. Sure, let's go with that.
I do the same double roll thing, right?
Yep. This will be what is his dexterity mod?
Dexterity mod.
Dexterity, isn't it a... what's he
Plus
throwing?
2.
He's throwing a warhammer. It's an improvised
Oh.
throw.
Yep.
Dexterity mod is +2.
All right. So because warhammers aren't meant to be thrown, so you will be only adding +2 to hit instead of +9.
Does have the
Is that
archery fighting
correct?
style, if that helps.
Is that correct?
That is correct, and that is also a hit. So yeah, go ahead and roll its full damage. It is a magic warhammer. After all, Arkelis, what were you saying?
He does have the archery fighting style, if that helps. I don't know if it applies to thrown weapons.
I have no idea.
So I roll the same as the hand axe, right?
It's the 1d8 plus whatever.
Usually
+5.
it's the thrown weapon proficiency.
1d8 plus what?
5 if you're using strength for damage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, it does full damage to him as you throw your warhammer at him with a clang. Anything else?
I have one more, right?
You have one more attack, yes.
Let's see. I don't have anything else to throw.
You do have a second hand axe.
Wait, I
You
do
started
I?
with 2.
You know you can move, right?
Oh, right, I can.
And you can also, just walk over, pick up the warhammer, and smack him with it.
I will do that.
All right. You run up to him, grab that warhammer, and try to smack him with it. Or roll to hit.
It is still that.
Still with advantage.
Still with advantage, though you're back up to that +9 for the warhammer. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll the warhammer damage.
Is it +9 this time?
+5.
It is 13.
All right. Well, he is looking real close to death.
I will point out one other thing you can do on your turn that doesn't cost anything is start holding your breath.
Why would I want to do that?
You can hold your breath longer than it will take that thing to choke you out if it covers you.
Okay, I will hold my breath.
Okay.
Is that it?
If you want it to be.
Okay.
All right. Arkelis.
This guy's still blinded. I don't really have much non-psychic damage. I'm just gonna... oh wait, I do have something. I am going to animate my old suit of chainmail. And I'm just going to have that beat the shit out of him for me.
Okay. The suit of chainmail just hops out of your backpack, kind of, swings over to the guy and starts wailing on him. It hits him.
All the chains start popping off like a machine gun.
Just gonna crit fish here. Yeah, didn't work. 9 force damage.
Okay. He dies. And you kind of see his rod, kind of like as he his body starts collapsing to the ground. The rod just kind of stays floating where he was holding it.
What about the cloak?
The cloak's still moving. It's still alive. And you notice that the rod suddenly begins, the space around it begins to warp a little. And a little more. And soon enough, a little miniature black hole is forming.
Can we touch it?
Cannot.
Arkelis, it is still your turn.
Can I grab the rod and take it
The
away?
rod
from
doesn't
the
exist
part?
anymore.
Oh,
It's a black hole.
okay. We should run.
And you can feel that thing has pull to it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave and keep heading west, and I'm going to get my spare suit of chainmail within 10 feet of as many party members as possible.
Okay.
At the beginning of their turn, it will give them 10 extra feet of movement. And that is going to be it for me.
All right, yeah, use skedaddle. Beta. Beta, are you here?
Mister.
Yeah. Is it my turn again? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
what do you do?
Is the thing still alive?
The cloak is still alive.
It's still holding on to him. You know, Beta would like to see how he performs if he can just tear the cloak off himself.
Wait, no, I want to keep it.
But it's also choking the life out of you, so...
Actually, I think I'm holding it in one hand.
Decisions? Alright, I'm gonna let you handle your cloak. How about that?
Yes.
I'll make sure you don't die. How'd that be?
That sounds preferable.
Small
And if you
matter.
do die, I can bring you back to life, so don't worry about it.
There's a small matter I think Mister isn't entirely aware of.
Yeah, Mister, the wand turned into a vortex.
What wand turned into a... What, excuse me? Vortex? Like a rip in space-time kind
Yeah,
of
it's
The
vortex?
a
guy
black hole
died.
now.
You know that rod he was beating people with? It formed a black hole and is now sucking stuff in.
Okay, distance.
From you, 10 feet right now.
Well, let's put it 40 feet, because I'm going to misty step away from it 30 feet.
Yeah.
The other side of the room. Fuck all that shit, and then Beta's going to set her feet. Alright, now, back to what we were doing. Now I'm just going to watch him struggle with his cloak, and maybe he won't get sucked into the portal. But if he does,
Okay. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
That's it.
Guy, death save.
All right. I have bigger problems than death saves, but okay.
You do, but if you've gotten to 20, it would make things a little easier.
Wait, he was dead?
Well, unconscious.
was he? I didn't know that. I could have brought him back.
It
You
kinda
could have,
slipped my
but
mind.
you,
Didn't.
yeah.
Oh well.
It's okay. He has
All right.
temporary help.
On his turn, the black hole gets bigger. The pole gets stronger. The shroud. The shroud is going to try and attach itself to Soup again.
Oh, wow.
It's a very simple organism. Alright, well, with a whap giving you 8 bludgeoning damage, it wraps itself around, restraining, blinding, and making you unable to breathe.
Hmm.
Alright, Goulash. You feel the pull of the black hole right in front of you, staring into its inky void.
Oh god, does the void stare back?
No, it is inky black. There is no eyes in there yet.
Oh, I knew they were lying about that. Can I get to where Guy is without going through the black hole?
Yes, he's right next to you.
Alright, I pick him up.
Alright, you grab Guy.
Do I move at half speed when I'm carrying him, even if...
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, well, I think I had my movement speed increased by 10 by something.
You did.
Alright, then I'll move my 50 feet away.
Alright, you start moving away. I need you to make a strength athletics check to move away from it.
Oh
as
boy.
it has a strong pull towards you.
I wonder if the barbarian with expertise in athletics will fail this.
Yes.
Steps on a banana peel.
Triple nat 1 on 2 dice.
Alright, yeah, you stomp heavily away from it. As you do this. It counts as difficult terrain. So you only get half of that your enhanced movement, but you are able to get a decent distance away from it.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I get 25 feet, and I used my action to pick him up, so I think that's it.
Okay. Soup.
Okay, so I try to get it off me again,
Alright.
as
Yeah.
I've done many times before.
Yep.
What roll is that again?
That is a athletics ability check. So d20 plus the athletics skill.
Hmm.
He's not able to fail it on that.
All right, yeah, you pull it off your face again.
Okay, so I'm holding in one hand, correct?
You're holding him in one hand, yes.
Can I throw it into the black hole?
You can certainly try. It is
Okay.
another. He does get to try to not get thrown in, so it is another contested athletics check.
So I just do it again.
Yes.
Oh no.
Aww.
All right. So it like sticks to your arm and like does not want to go into the hole.
Can I try again?
Yes.
Remember to say "Long live the king" first.
Long live the king.
All right. Yeah. So you kind of wiggle your hand a bit and then just chuck it in there, and it disappears into the inky sphere.
I really wanted to keep it.
I'm sure it would have preferred that. Hindsight 2020.
We should probably start running before the
Oh yeah, I should definitely move as far away as possible.
All right.
before the inky blackness of the void starts meowing and asking for chicken at 3 a.m.
All right. Yeah, I think he got some bad acid for his trip. So yeah, Soup, your character starts trying to run down the causeway. He needs to make another athletics check to pull away from the black hole. One more.
Oh, shit.
You are unable to move away from the black hole.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Don't
maybe
worry,
you
I
and the
have a
cape
plan.
can get back together.
Wait, what happens now?
Nothing. You have 0 movement.
So I'm just like... so it's
You're
like I'm
watching this thing get closer and closer.
It's like I'm trying to run away, but it's like walking into a really heavy wind.
Exactly. You can feel it's like pulling on you as you turn and try to walk away, but it's just getting closer.
Okay, is there anything else I can do?
But you got a bonus action of some kind.
I think I used a bonus action earlier, so I can't do that.
Then I think you're done.
Yeah, that's done.
Okay. Arkellis?
I'm going to just stroll back Dimension Door Soup out of the gravity, like 100 feet up the path, and I'm going to have my old set of chainmail push Goulash along with...
Hold on. So you run down there, which is easy enough to do. Grab Soup and you cast Dimension Door. Where are you putting the end point?
100 feet west along the causeway.
All right. So you go. So I now need you to make a strength athletics check to go through the portal, because you do have to go through the portal. The portal doesn't go through you.
All right.
All right. You pulling Soup go through the portal,
Thank you.
which remains open, and you feel the gravitational effect still pulling on you.
Oh, that's not good. All right. And I'm going to have my suit of chainmail push Goulash along. And I'm going to take Soup west further.
Okay. Another athletics check. As the suit begins helping Goulash. All right,
Another
yeah.
20.
All right, you move another 25 feet, pulling Soup along with you.
That is very nice of you.
Yeah, well, it worked once. Figured it could work twice. A little bit different from a plant, but, you know, same idea. The only idea I've had today. Alright, that is my turn.
All right, Beta.
So is Guy still unconscious on the floor?
No.
He's unconscious but not on the floor.
Where did he go into the portal?
No, Goulash grabbed him.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, I was gonna wake him up so he could be unconscious. But if Goulash grabbed him, that's good. So far, everybody's getting out of the way, right?
Well, sort of. So, a bunch of you guys ran to the west, like 30, 40 feet. Then Arkellis went to the sphere, grabbed Soup, and dimension doored 100 feet away to the west, which appears to have gotten stuck open. And you can feel gravitational effects now coming from both in front and behind you.
Oh shit. Where is the rod the guy had?
In the center of the black hole.
Of the black hole.
That's where it originated from.
I mean, I'm thinking of doing something dumb, but I don't know if it would work. But it really is dumb.
You know, don't let your dreams be dreams.
But I don't want to lose Beta, though. But, damn, it's a dumb idea. I'm going to... You know what? First, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to shoot the portal.
Okay. With what?
Etheridge Blast.
Okay. Roll to hit.
I rolled it. Can I aim to where the staff was? Like in the staff that turned into the thing?
Yeah, but that's not the portal. Sorry, when you mean the portal, are you talking about one of the two ends of the dimension door, or are you talking about the black hole?
The black hole. I'm talking about the black hole.
Okay. Yes, you can target the center of the black hole with Eldritch Blast. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Be careful with that, Beta. You might just hit your patron if you shoot that in there.
Alright, 3 blasts go in. Go ahead and roll damage.
You know what you shouldn't do? Piss off the entity on the other side of the black hole.
Alright. There is no visible effect.
Can I move to a place that's not under graviton pull?
Well, you're on the causeway. Behind you in the causeway is the actual black hole. In front of you is where Arkellis had opened up a dimension door, and you can also feel gravity coming from the stuck open dimension door.
How high up are we again?
The bridge is 20 feet above the swamp.
I will jump over the edge.
Okay. You jump over the edge. Do you have any way to slow your fall?
No. Superhero landing right in the mud.
Superhero landing right in the mud. Just twist your ankle, you take 6 bludgeoning.
Well, I can't twist. Okay, I twisted my ankle. I put it back on.
Yeah. It's like bent a little bit. You just kind of unbend it.
Just smack it real hard.
It does feel significantly less gravity shearing here.
Good. All right, and then I'm done.
You're not going to run away from the bridge?
Oh well, I thought I figured I used my movement. Okay, if I
you used like 10 feet of movement to jump over the edge.
Yes, I'm moving away.
All right, yeah. You move an additional like 10 feet away. So I think you lose. Yeah. All right. That it for you?
That is it. Yes.
Okay. Guy. Death save, I believe.
Yay.
Okay. Black hole gets bigger, completely absorbing the first dimension door. Some of it now clipping out and through the outer dimension door.
That sounds bad.
You notice the Goulash. Actually, it would just be Goulash and Soup there in the middle, Oh wait, no, just Goulash, because he's the only one awake in the middle. Soup's with Arkellis. The causeway is starting to seem wider, like it's bulging between the two point gravity sources.
Oh,
All right, Goulash, it is now your turn.
okay. I continue trying to run away.
Well, to be clear, are you running towards the dimension door that Arkellis opened? The second source now?
What happens if I run in the other direction?
The black hole itself?
Oh, so I'm caught between them?
You're between... Basically, because you opened up a portal, you're caught... Or because you opened up the dimension door, you're caught between both point sources.
If I go near the edge... Yeah, actually, I will go first to the edge of the bridge so I can get as far away from both of them as I can.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you can see down the 20 feet to the... well, it looks more like 25 feet now. To the swamp below, you can see Beta kind of running away from the bridge in the swamp muck.
Now, does this bridge have support columns along its length, or is it just?
Yeah, it's like a sequential arch causeway.
Oh, sequential arch. So there is a support column.
There are multiple support columns. Yes.
Okay, I would like to crawl along the side or underside of the bridge to the nearest support column and begin making my way down.
Easily done. You just hop over the edge, use your climb speed, start making your way down to the swamp.
To be clear, is my base speed increased by 10 because of that
Yes.
chainmail? Okay, then I move my full 100 feet all the way down.
All right, you move your full 100 feet all the way down and start moving into the swamp with Beta.
Yep, I follow Beta.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on your turn?
No.
All right. Soup. You can feel the gravity behind you.
So I just run away, I guess.
All right. You keep running. Arkellis?
I'm going to try to cast Dispel Magic on the rod that started the black hole.
Okay. That will require a charisma check. The spellcasting check.
That is... Bards are bullshit, so I get extra stuff. 22.
Excellent. So yeah, you cast your magic. And it's funny, is normally Dispel Magic has like a 60-foot range. But
120.
It does have 120? Oh.
Counterspell is 60. Dispel has 120. I also have extended spell of the meta magic if I need it, but
well, you would I guess you wouldn't. In this case, funny thing is it targets as if it's a lot closer because you're actually you're able to target it through the connection via the dimension door.
So I'm casting it from like 20 feet away.
Yeah. There's a loud thunderclap. And the black hole is gone. Along with your dimension door. And like 20 feet of bridge. Where the original part of the black hole was big enough to carve out a 20-foot long section of bridge.
Mm.
You guys are out of initiative at this point. Oh wait, nope, sorry. Guy is still dying. So, Raquel, anything else?
Save Guy.
That's it for me.
Alright. Beta.
Alright, is he unconscious or is he dead?
Well, he was unconscious when you last saw him. Oh wait, Goulash is carrying him. So he's like right next to you. Yeah, he is unconscious, being carried by Goulash.
Oh, well. Okay, well then I'm gonna cast a simple cure spell to get him back on his feet.
Yeah.
It's a D8, right? What is it?
Cure Wounds it's a D8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
All right.
7 points. Yay!
All right, Guy, you wake up with 7 points of hit and 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay.
And now you guys are out of initiative.
I'll be back moment.
Yep. I'm going to take this opportunity to call it for the night. That was a lot of fun.
Have a good one, AJ.
I was on the edge of my seat over whether the black hole was going to kill me before I left for the night. That was fun.
Glad you enjoyed it. Have a good night.
All right.
I have a lot of questions, but I don't think anybody has answers.
Why not ask them?
What just happened?
I got strangled a bunch of times.
Fair point, but not quite what I was going for. We should probably just meet up with the rest of the group. So, actually, they're not on the causeway. We are. They should meet up with us. That's a them problem. I'll just peek over the side and look for the rest of the group.
Yeah, you can see them. They're not exactly all that hidden.
I'll just wave them over and toss a rope down for them to climb up.
They can easily do so. What do you guys do then?
Westwards? Yay, nay? Do we need a 10-minute breather?
I don't hear anyone complaining.
West it is.
Alright, you guys start marching off to the west. And I think that is where we will call it for the evening.